the now and here. Gaming tales you need to hear. Laugh and shout and sometimes sneer. Memories from all those years. Console wars and secret tips. Tips and tricks from pixel trips. News that pours from gaming sips. Critical minds and candid lips. And Generation X Gaming Show. Tune in where the thoughts flow. Rant and rave with words that glow. Weekly stories make them go.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another week, another episode of Generation X Gaming, the weekly podcast that goes over a few of the top stories from the past week, and we rant along the way. I'm your host, Sgt Still Gaming, and joining me each and every single week is Sgt Mclusky. What's going on, bro?
You know, I thought we were going to have only a certain amount of stories to go over, but then all of a sudden we got some bombs dropping like the last 24 hours.
Hold on one second, Sarge. Sorry. The player was playing in the background from you, so people hear me twice. Sorry about that. So go ahead. You were talking about the news stories.
No, I thought we had the story set, and then 24 hours. In the last 24 hours, all these bombs were dropping. So it's like, oh, okay, some things have opened up. It's going to be a good conversation tonight.
Yeah. There's always right before the show. This is why, it's funny because like Thursday nights, I always figure out that when we started the show early, like years ago, a decade ago, that Thursdays for some reason is a good night to have a podcast because like news breaks and then like Friday happens and the weekend happens, and then once the weekend happens, people kind of forget about stuff. So we usually talk about stuff first on the show, like right when it happens, because then you'll start seeing YouTubers make the content on Fridays and Saturdays and whatnot. So it's always good to have it. So on today's show, we're going to be talking about Path of Exile 2. We're going to be talking about Destiny, or I should say Bungie, I should say. We're going to talk about Disney. Disney has boy trouble, and not what you're thinking, clientele-wise. Okay? We're going to talk about Marvel devs.
Both.
Right, it could be both, right? Yeah. MarvelRivals devs have been given the go-ahead to make their own character, and we'll talk about that. Okay? We're going to talk a lot about Battlefield. We're going to talk a little bit about Call of Duty. We're going to talk about BioShock a little bit. We're going to talk about Borderlands and Randy Pitchford. We're going to talk about just EA. We're going to talk about Hell Let Loose. We're going to talk about PlayStation and Xbox and Valve. We're going to talk about not really Gamescom. I'm not going to talk about Gamescom. I'm going to talk about what everyone's talking about at Gamescom, which is one game, which is the Batman Lego game. Everyone's loving and freaking out about this Batman Lego. And I love my Lego Batman games, right? I love all the Lego games, but this is just another Lego game, and it's 2025. We're getting like Expedition 33 and Split Fiction and Death Stranding 2, right? And everyone's like, what's at Gamescom? Did you see the new Batman game? Like, Batman game? Lego Batman. And like, oh, man, right? Like, there was other things there.
Yeah, but
not really.
What's really calling out?
Yeah.
What's really calling out?
It's crazy to me. Anyway, that's on today's show. If you guys like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. If you're over on Twitch, welcome. How are you guys doing over on Twitch? Make sure you hit the follow button over there. You guys only get the podcast. Sometimes you get gameplay over there, but you guys don't really come out in droves over on Twitch. So we stay on the YouTube platform. So you can also watch the past broadcasts or the podcast on Spotify, Anchor.fm, Google Play, anywhere a podcast could be listened to or watched. You can watch the past broadcast here. So this is episode 400 and was it 453? Yeah, 453.
Yes.
So welcome all. What's going on, chat? So let's get to what we've been playing. All right, Sarge, another week. Lots of stuff. I played a lot of stuff from from last week from playing just Battlefield 6 to this week playing Battlefield 6 and way more stuff. So what have you played in this past week?
Well, ever since I found that purchase of buying Dawn of War 1, the definitive edition, for $17, I've been playing that from scratch just to mess around with it, because it just the upgrades are amazing considering how old the game is. And I'm going through all the campaigns again. And then I'm hoping sometime next year, the modding community, who is foaming at the mouth because of the graphics enhancements, are going to install all the mods that they've already installed for that game with the new engine, with the new graphics updates. So it's going to look amazing.
Right.
Amazing. They're going to have all the other factions that they've added. And so I'm just kind of like, and then on top of that, the only thing that really stuck out for me for Gamescom so far is the Dawn of War 4 trailer. And I'm like, oh, did we realize how badly we messed up?
When I saw that, I was like, oh, this is up Sarge's alley. But I knew you weren't going to get, obviously, I think you'll buy it. I just don't think you'll get it day one, but it's definitely right up your alley. Bless you. Bless you.
That one hurt. I mean, the type of, you have to understand I've been around since the beginning of RTSs, and so it's time for them to kind of like, I guess, they have to improve a little bit. It can't just be the StarCraft style of rock paper scissors.
Right.
If you've ever played Company Heroes 1, right? Company Heroes 1 did a phenomenal job at making the actual playing pieces more living. So when you tell a unit to do something and go somewhere, when it gets to the area that you've clicked on, if there's areas nearby that it could take cover in, they would just take cover. Right? Now, if it was too small, a couple of the guys would be out of luck. They were like, well, you're not in cover. So like if they got into a firefight, the first guys to die would be the guys that are not in cover. Right? So more living pieces. And so that started 10 years ago. And so now we've got to this point where the engines have improved, the graphics of I guess the actions per second in on screen for the actual pieces and the detail level has gotten to the point now where it's really realistic. Right? So like if you zoomed in on your guys shooting in like a Company Heroes game, you see them getting shot and ducking behind cover and blowing up and that kind of thing. It's gruesome when you scroll in. When you scroll out, like you don't care. It's just a guy being missing. But you get closer, and you kind of feel for the little sprites on the screen. So seeing what they did for Dawn of War 4, right? The devs apparently went off the deep end with like the melee combat. And so if 5 units and 10 units all kind of get together, instead of them just sitting there and doing this to each other, and they're just kind of swinging. They
put the actual detail in there, actual fighting.
Yeah, they pair off, and they're actually fighting. Like they go through 15 or 20 different animations.
Yeah.
Right, and then they go through their own death sinks. If they get low enough on health, each thing can be a death sink. Instead of just being a hero character doing a death sink kill, then it's anybody. So I'm waiting for that. I want to see that in action.
Was there a date? For that? It just said 2026.
My guess will be late spring next year if everything's going right.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
But I've been playing Dawn of War, the definitive edition, a lot of Company Heroes, of course Baldur's Gate. I know you guys are surprised. I've been playing Baldur's Gate every week.
It's good. You finally got it a year Grounded. Afterwards. Yeah.
Grounded. Been playing Grounded 2.
Yeah.
Yep. Full plate actually of the stuff I've been playing. I mean, there's a lot of stuff to try out. I'm looking on Steam now, and I'm trying not to buy anything. What I'm looking for now is like a grand strategy for like World War II, like Pacific Battle, or a sub battle for the Atlantic type of thing. I mean, like in a World War II still kind of mode. I was playing Hell Let Loose, and then I did see that trailer.
Yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit later. Yeah. I played Battlefield 6 last weekend, right? Enjoyed it from last Thursday to Sunday. Played it, enjoyed it. I had friends that haven't been playing Battlefield games in a decade. They like got on and was like playing the beta with me, and that was fun playing with old friends again in the Battlefield game. And then afterwards, I had the bug. I wanted and I needed to play a Battlefield game, so I went back and I played Battlefield 1. Okay. Then in the afternoons, I've been playing with Mr. Luke, right? And we played Delta Force. We tried Delta Force because it came out on Monday. Or no, it came out on Tuesday. All right, it came out on Tuesday.
I keep hearing things on both sides for Delta Force, like bad mouthing it and then calling it good for console. Like, what's your take?
It's a free to play game. I don't hate playing it. Like it's a fun game to play, right? It's the gunplay feels good, not great. It's literally Battlefield 2042. It's got the hero classes, they got different abilities and different stuff like that. It feels good when you snipe though, right? It feels good when you snipe, when you shoot. It's got this little weight to it. Like when you hit someone, you hear this little punch sounds like, you know, like it's satisfying to the ear when you like shoot someone and hit them in the head and stuff like that. The maps are actually good in this game, right? There's this one map, I call it the Mission Impossible map, right? So you're down on the ground and you're invading a mountain, okay? And then once you get the points at the bottom, you have to take these cables and go all the way to the top. And there's a fortress up on top of the mountain, and they're like shooting down. And then you have to storm inside the mountain itself up at the top, and then it breaks out to the top of it, and then there's like a building up on top, right? It's actually a really good map. There's good maps in the game, but then you get to the crux of the game, which is the microtransactions, the grinding of the guns and the weapons to get the stuff, and then you get and you see all these cosmetics. Like, here's what this game is, right? Like, the First Descendant knows what it is, right? They show you the asses of the girls. They have the assets and stuff like that. I shit you not. There's a girl player on the game, okay, who's a medic, recon, and she's also a medic or whatever, okay? When she revives you, I shit you not, Sarge, she like slides up to you, okay, and like looks into your eyes, right? She's like looking into your eyes and she like stabs you with the thing, right? And I was like, oh, right. When the guy does it, he just stabs you and moves on, right? But when the girl revives you, she literally looks down at you and like looks directly into the camera. You know what I mean? Like they know exactly what they're doing, right? So they have like cool cosmetics and stuff like that. The gun skins are cool and stuff. But I don't like any of that stuff. I don't buy any of that stuff. They give you free. They're just shoving free stuff at you. They're like, hey, you unlocked this, you did this, right? It's a good game. It's a free-to-play game, right? So this is the crux of the whole thing where Battlefield 6 comes out, Call of Duty comes out. That's a $70 game. That's a $70 game. And then you have this game, which is free. And it feels more like Battlefield than Battlefield felt in the past, okay? But now you have Battlefield 6 coming out, which, again, it feels good for a Battlefield. But they're also comparing it to the last Battlefield, which is the worst Battlefield, right next to Hardline.
Well, I don't know if that's the worst.
Well, we don't consider Hardline. We don't consider Hardline a Battlefield.
Oh, if we're not counting Hardline, then okay.
So Battlefield 2042 is like the worst one. So it's a fun game. I'll go back and play it every once in a while, but I'm not going to sit there and grind it. Now, we went from we went from playing Delta Force, and the next day we played 2042. Now, 2042, I'll have to tell you, I would rather play 2042 than play Delta Force. Okay, because now 2042 has had 3 years to fix the problems that they had in the game. But the problem with Battlefield 2042 is the few people that are playing, there's a lot of cheaters playing the game. Okay,
of course there is, dude.
There's a lot of cheaters playing the game.
Power trips.
Okay, so now
on console?
On console, yeah, because it's crossplay, right?
Yeah, but crossplay for console, not crossplay for PC.
No, it's crossplay.
Oh, it's over for those people. Come on now.
Yeah. So while I'm playing 2042, I'm enjoying it. Okay, which then goes into my next kind of crux of the situation here. They have a battle pass, a free battle pass, which is great marketing because Battlefield 6 ended, and they updated Battlefield 2042,
which makes
sense. Hence why a lot of people are going back to 2042 because one, they have the itch, right? Like if you watched Fallout series, you want to go play Fallout 76, right? If you watched Last of Us, you want to go play Last of Us. If you watch the Assassins, you know what I mean? Like whatever it is, you want to go do that. Great marketing, right? Great marketing. Battlefield 6 ended. Battlefield 2042 that no one bought and played, selling for $3 right now. It's on Game Pass, $3.
$3.
Pass, $3. Yeah, $3. Okay. They have a whole list, 60 levels, and every page, like every page that you see, is the first one is all cosmetics and stuff of Battlefield 1 for the first 8 levels. Then 9 and 10 are nothing. Then you go to 11, and then it's all from Bad Company 2 or Bad Company. Then Bad Company 2 is the next page. Then Battlefield 3 is the page after that. Then Battlefield 4 is the page after that. And it's all cosmetic skins and stuff from those games' eras and stuff like that within Battlefield 2042. Okay. So that's smart of them to, grind and whatnot, do dailies and whatnot. I went back for the first game on Monday. Didn't know this before I got on stream. I just clicked on Iwo Jima, which is the new map. I was like, okay, great.
On 2042.
2042, yeah.
So they put Iwo Jima into 2042.
Yeah, but they updated it in 2042. So
I get it. So it's all the
it's a
modern
ships. Yeah, there's a volcano erupting on there and stuff like that. Yeah, it's cool. It is cool. Okay, it's a good large-scale map, helicopters, jets. Like, there's 12 different types of vehicles you can get on the map. It's
a little weird, huh?
Yeah, it's a little weird. Okay, but anyway, I played the game, and I didn't look at the names or anything. I just loaded in, right? I just hit the Iwo Jima button, sat for 5 minutes before I got in. Okay, I was like, oh, no one's playing this game. Got into the game, okay, and I started shooting. I started killing people. And I was like, something feels off, right? I wasn't paying attention to the names. They actually have the AI next to their name, but I wasn't paying attention to the name. Yeah. Right? So, like, shooting them, and I'm racking up kills. I felt like I was like John Wick. I'm holding a point. There's guys coming down. I'm blowing up tanks, doing all this stuff. I'm like looking at it going, what the hell's going on? I haven't played this game in like a year and a half, right? So I was just like, I felt a little weird, like coming back like a Fortnite bot match. You know what I mean? Right? So all of a sudden, I look at it and I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake. I was like, they're all bots. I'm playing against all bots. So I was like, what the hell? Right? So, but then I started thinking, I want to unlock some of the weapons. I want to do the dailies and stuff like that. So now it's turned into like Marvel's Rivals for me, right? I log in. I put the difficulty up a little bit for the bots, and they're actually pretty tough, like they are in Star Wars Battlefront. Like you could lose to them.
Well, first of all, the bots to Star Wars are on a different level, bro.
They're on the same level.
There's no running around in a circle and they stay near a flag and they just kind of do this and wait for they get shot. Like, they don't do that kind of stuff.
They do exactly that when you put the difficulty up in this. Okay. Anyway, so I started doing I'm killing everybody. I'm unlocking new weapons and
is there anybody else playing with you? Or was it just you in a server with 64 bots?
There was just me and 64 bots for my first match back. Then I went to go.
So nobody was even on your team?
No, nobody.
Let me ask you a question. Why is that map released?
Well, this is what I'm getting to, right? This is what I'm getting to.
Wait, we're skipping around again. All right,
you asked me a question. I'm talking about what I've been playing. I'm playing, and there's a new map on the thing I've been playing.
Yeah, all right, go ahead.
All right, Iwo Jima is a brand new map on 2042. Okay, I'm a little baffled by this.
It doesn't make sense, bro.
Because the last map that they added to 2042 was in May, Season 7 of 2024. Okay. So we're talking
what year you know what year you're in, right?
Yeah, we're in 2025. 18 months after the last map that they put in Iwo Jima 1 day after the beta releases.
Why?
Or stops, right? And I was like thinking to myself, I'm like, what are they doing? Like, to take time to make this map, right? To take time to make this map for a game that no one's playing. Okay? It's actually a really good map. I like the map. It's got lots of caverns to hide in. It's got tunnels. It's up on high verticality. It's got a lot of. But why would they spend the time and money to make Iwo Jima for just 2 months later, no one to ever play that map ever again?
Well, let's go through some of it. I think we could pretty much use the deductive reasoning on this one. I think perhaps maybe that they have somebody that's working for them that's making a map, and they're probably testing out their way of making a map or redoing a map, and so they let them do it, and then it was an Iwo Jima redone map, and they let that company or whoever they hired release that map to see how well it would do, to test the waters. Number two, I think they released that kind of map for no reason at all, is because I think they're testing out their servers on a large map. because they haven't. Nobody played a large map, and I think they're testing out their new servers or whatever they're doing on that map. But no one's playing it, so it doesn't make any sense. But something's got to be being testing. You're testing something.
They need to take this map. They need to take this map, and this map should be a day one map in Battlefield 6.
But it wouldn't go with the actual flow of the game.
Yeah,
The fuck would you put Iwo Jima for inside this game?
They can make up a story. It doesn't fucking matter.
They're invading America. The whole premise of the game is we're getting invaded. And what the fuck is a Iwo Jima map got to do with
maybe
that
someone
game?
else is getting invaded? Who knows what the fuck is going on? They make the story. They write the story. I don't give a shit what they're putting the thing in.
It doesn't make sense. It hurts my brain to think that they would redo a map of Battlefield 5 Iwo Jima map into 2042. 2 months before they're getting ready to release a game that has nothing to do with that at all. It makes no sense.
Yeah, it makes it to me. It boggles my mind that they wasted. Now, another thing says that they already had the map forever ago, held it back just for this. Maybe, right? Maybe they thought about this. Maybe they said, all hands on deck. We have this map we didn't use, and we're gonna put it out right after to keep the buzz going, right? Because look, it is working. I'm not gonna lie, because there are a lot of people.
You were the only one playing, you said.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think that was a mess up because I just clicked the Iwo Jima button. When I go there now, there's a full lobby of actual people you're playing. At least I think they're real people. They don't have AI next to their name, right? And for the most part, the servers are pretty full right now for Battlefield 2042 because the hype is real, right? As Krebsy's saying, the road to Battlefield, right? The road to Battlefield 6.
I got you.
So people stop playing Battlefield 6 and like, where do I go? It's like Dave Chappelle. I need it. You know what I mean? Like they need Battlefield. And look, I'm on a kick now. I'm playing Hell Let Loose. I'm playing Battlefield 1. I'm playing Battlefield 2042. I'm playing Battlefield 5. I'm playing Delta Force. I'm playing every military shooter out there right now because I want that thing to satisfy it. And I think I'm gonna land on Hell Let Loose for the next month or so because
land on Hell Let Loose.
Yeah, I love it. I love the strategy.
Welcome back.
I love the strategy of it. I don't care that I have to run a mile and a half to get to a thing and to die.
Well, you don't have to run a mile and a half if you know where to spawn.
But exactly right. What I'm saying is I love the fact to Hell Let Loose. I'm going to switch now to Hell Let Loose. Okay. I played Hell Let Loose. I played it for 2 nights. Okay. I love it, man. I love the fact that it's hardcore all the time. Okay. 1 bullet to your guy, dead, right? You strategizing, knowing the layout of the map.
How to spot somebody before they spot you.
Where would they come from? If they're coming from here, where would they go? Where would the recon guy be? There's the thing that the supply is coming in. Go on a mission going over there. I think I just want to be a Hell Let Loose like streamer. Like I just want to play Hell Let Loose.
So this is what happens when you play the beta for Battlefield. Your brain got twisted. You got hooked on FPS shooters again, and then all of a sudden you landed on Hell Let Loose, which you haven't played in a while. What the hell happened?
I haven't played in like a year. Right? Well, here's the reason, right? I'm playing Battlefield 6, and I thought about it when I played Battlefield 6. I said, man, this feels good. It feels good. It feels like a Battlefield, but it's not. I know it's not. I know they're going to have massive problems. I'm not falling for this shit, okay? Because it's happened for 15 years.
That reminds me, we're going to talk about getting that T-shirt made for the show.
Yeah, we'll get it. We're going to get it made.
Yeah.
I got to come up with a design, but we are going to have, no pre-order, no day one. No
full price
for half-baked
games.
Yeah. So when I was playing Battlefield 6, I was really enjoying it. I was like, this feels good. But then I was like, 18 months to fix that pain. Okay, it's gonna have netcode issues. They're gonna have balance issues. They don't even know if they want open class or closed class. I don't want to buy a full price game.
I watched that video you sent. You were talking about earlier. I went back and I watched it. He's right, man. The guy's right. Like they're doing it on purpose, hiding it.
I'm right. I said that weeks ago.
Yeah, hiding it. They're hiding it.
They're hiding it. When they did for the beta, they hid the closed weapons on the other page so no one would see it, right? So now they're going forward with both, which I think is stupid because they don't have an identity. They don't know what they want to do.
It's not about they're going with both. They're leaving both there so they can talk about that they allowed the player base to vote on what they like.
We're voting on which is
we're voting on what we like, and we know what the vote's going to come down to. The vote's going to come down to they want open guns. We already know this. Open classes.
I realized what happened from Bad Company 2, 3, and 4, right? 3 and 4 came out around the same time as Destiny, right? So we played Destiny. We played that, and we took most of our time and played Destiny for those years,
Yeah,
right?
Destiny sucked up a lot of time, man.
Sucked up a lot of time,
Yeah,
right?
we played a lot of Destiny.
That was our first-person shooter game, right? Then
we played Battlefield up until the point until Destiny came out, and then we were bouncing back and forth, but then Destiny took over.
Yeah, no, Destiny took over. And then in 2019, 2020 is when I kind of stopped. Okay. And I felt lost because in 2021, Battlefield 2042 came out, and I didn't really play it until a year. It was 13 months later when it came to Game Pass, so which is 2022, right? So I didn't have my first-person shooter game that I like playing. So I jumped back from Battlefield 1 and Hell Let Loose, and I tried different games here and there. I'm like trying to find that game. I think me and you would like Armor Reforge. I think me and you, just as two of us in a group, would go around and getting points and establishing supply lines and stuff like that. That I see us doing. Hell Let Loose, same exact thing. I like just being in a group and staying with that group and trying to find, like the other day we were trying to find guys behind enemy lines that were just picking us off and stuff like that. I know it's boring as fuck for people to watch.
But I can't stand roaches.
But God, I'm like, I gotta find this guy. I gotta look for this guy.
I can't stand roaches. I can't stand it.
Yeah, so I really, all of a sudden I came back. I'm 47. I'm like, I need to go back to what I love, and that was first person military games. It's what I got my name from. 30 and Still Gaming was from military, from Bad Company days, and I think I want to go back to it. If people want to watch me, they can watch me. If they don't want to watch me, I don't blame them. But I like playing these games.
It doesn't take
great,
much to go, hey, Commander, can you spawn me a Jeep so I don't have to run around the map like a goddamn chicken?
Yeah.
They barely ever spawn a Jeep. The Jeep's right there. It's 100. It's 100 resources. Just spawn the damn Jeep and let's. I don't even think it is 100. I think it's like 75 or 50.
I went down the rabbit hole. I started watching Warfrag. He does some great content, man. Have you ever watched the guy I sent you?
I watch all those guys.
He does like documentary style of his Hell Let Loose playthroughs.
Tactical Brit, Warfrags.
Yeah. They make such good content, and you learn so much from watching his stuff. Right? I watched him build a whole fort.
You want to get good? Watch Alpine Sniper.
Oh, I haven't watched him. Yeah.
Yeah, Alpine Sniper plays Hell Let Loose in the military games. He's insane. Like he's at max range with the sniper rifle, and he's picking people off like they're standing next to him.
Yeah, Warfrag does the same thing, right? He sits there in his comment section of the very first video I watched. He was behind enemy lines, him and his spotter, and they were holding this fort because they were pushing on the fort. And he's like, all these engineers are at this one fort, and he's like, why are they doing this? And they were fortifying it for the next position.
I know which video you're talking about. That was the Hill 501 over.
Yeah. So he was there just by himself, and he took out every single person and fucked up their thing. All the engineers moved. They built another spot over here. They had tanks looking for him and everything. He died, I think, twice the entire time. 75 kills, right? In the comment section, everyone's like, does anybody want to comment on how badass this man is behind enemy lines? He's just like, pop, 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 pop. I was just like, this is fantastic.
He disrupted the entire building of the fort.
Correct.
Just from him and his buddy.
Just him and his spotter.
Did you see his spotter? He sent his spotter in, and as the spotter
and
covering him.
Yes.
He's covering him from the.
I was like, this is awesome. Yeah. This is exactly
he's really
right.
good. He's really good.
So I love watching stuff like that. I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to play a lot more military. I want to get good with it. I want to know the maps, and then
it's time to up your game, bro.
Well,
it's
now
time
they
to
announced
get the Elite Controller. Christmas is around the corner, and Sarge is here for you. It's time for the Elite Controller
get the
5.
glasses so I could see better. But yeah, so that's what I've been playing. I've been playing a lot of military shooters. I played a little bit of Grounded 2 yesterday with you and Mr. Luke. So we're playing a lot of stuff. So going from this, I want to go directly into Hell Let Loose talk, right? So let's go to top stories. All right, so let me bring up this Hell Let Loose stuff. Okay, Hell Let Loose shows a video. They said they had a big idea or an announcement to do.
Can we just show the video and then we'll talk about it? Or are you going to get copyrighted because of the song?
I'm gonna put it on, but you're not gonna. We're gonna talk over it. You shouldn't be able to hear the sound.
Okay.
Yeah. So they're coming back to 1965 Hell Let Loose Vietnam. And I was like, holy shit, this is going to be intense, dude. If you guys played Battlefield Vietnam,
Intense. Let me explain something to you very carefully. Hell Let Loose already pisses off a lot of people because they keep calling it a running simulator, right? And they can't find anybody, and then they end up dying. If you think you're putting Hell Let Loose mechanics into Vietnam and you're not going to throw a controller, right, and punch a wall in your house, do you understand what this is going to do to people?
This is going to be so intense. Like right now, you play Hell Let Loose, you can't see people's heads in the field of grass. You're in a jungle. Battlefield Vietnam was intense, and that was arcadey. This is going to be next level, okay, intense.
Well, because you're not going to... First of all, I got to be honest. Unless they got some kind of new mechanics in the game, this might not do well. I'm going to be honest with you. The Vietnam version in Battlefield didn't do well for the same reason. I mean, it was cool, the radio stations and the Hueys, and it was fun for a while, but at the same time, trying to find people in the jungle is... Right? While gunfire is going off,
you could put traps. Okay, so I was listening to one of the guys talking about this.
Yeah.
You could put traps and stuff inside, and you could hide within the ground and then come out.
Yeah,
this is going to be next level insanity.
NBA,
I love how Altern's saying intense. Hell Let Loose. I know what you're saying by that, like because you're saying it's so slow going. How is it intense? Not intense to watch. Right, intense to play.
Yeah, but you have to understand. There are ebbs and flows to a Hell Let Loose game, right? There's different ranges for combat. There are points in the game where all hell's breaking loose. Like there's shit going on all around you. You can barely stay alive. It's just like a Battlefield game, but it's not Battlefield every 3 seconds.
Right.
Depending on where the point is and who shows up at the point, who brings vehicles. Like this is... I worry about this because number one, I want them to fucking fix Hell Let Loose. If you spent this entire time, you've spent all this time making a whole nother game and you won't fix the fucking game that everyone keeps saying to fucking fix. Like this is the problem.
Well, they came out and they said they are supporting both of them. Okay,
this one's from the one.
This is Unreal Engine 5, by the way. Okay, Team 17 when they got it over, right? Because they didn't make it originally. They got it from the other team, correct? Or am I wrong on that? Team 17 is the original guys.
No, there was one before Team 17, and now
Team 17 is the guys now. Yeah,
but now with somebody else. I think it's Team 17 in conjunction with somebody else now.
Yeah, so when they did it, they kind of like tried to fix it and try to do a bunch of stuff. They decided to make the next version. I think this is a pinnacle point for Hell Let Loose, though, right? I look at Hell Let Loose sort of like I looked at Battlefield back in the day when it was going up against COD. COD and Battlefield both came out around the same time, right? One was like super arcadey, one was more realistic. Of the two was Battlefield. And Battlefield was the low man on the totem pole, always. Okay? That's what this is. Hell Let Loose, it's never going to be as popular as a Call of Duty. Never. It's never going to be as popular as Battlefield because it's too niche of a thing. But there's a huge following with this type of military game. There's a huge military sim base out there between Armor Reforged and Squad and Sandstorm. Right? There's so many people playing military sims across the board. This could be a big factor for them because if it does work out to be good, then where do they go from there? Do they go back to World War II? Do they go to Desert Storm? Do they go
about
to
the mechanics? No, it's about the mechanics because you have to remember, Hell Let Loose is based off of infantry and some vehicle combat, right? You don't fly planes in Hell Let Loose. They're call-ins. You just call the commander calls them in.
Here you're going to have helicopters.
Well, here's number one problem. Number one problem is there wasn't a lot of vehicles in Vietnam, especially a lot of tanks. There were some tanks on certain maps, but not everywhere. You're not putting a tank in a jungle. Number two, you have boats. The NVA had canoes. So do I get to drive the boat like you drive a tank type of thing? I'm pretty sure that's a yes. But
they said you're buying.
But even that Al Dente says in chat is, can you fly a helicopter? Because then that opens up a whole different area of the helicopter.
They said you're flying helicopters, you're driving the boats. Okay. The helicopters do supply drops and stuff like that. So it's like the trucks. Okay. So basically the truck's driving, you're flying with the things, right? You have guys on the side of the base. You have guys on the side of the copters shooting down to keep it clear as you're landing to drop off supplies. Okay, like there's a bunch of stuff. So I don't know, man. Like, look, you see the boats happening here. I think it could be huge for them as a franchise because now they're not just known for World War II stuff. Now they're trying to branch out to other things.
But you understand the problem here. If this game releases and they have different mechanics that are done well and it works, then you have to go back and implement those things into the original game. You know what I mean?
Is there swimming? Can you swim in this? Because in the other one, you just sink to the bottom. You're dead. Well,
you had full gear on. That's the thing that they kept trying to explain to you. But the point is,
that sounds like an excuse.
So far,
it
looks good. It looks good on paper. But remember, you are talking about fighting in the jungle on hardcore mode all the time.
It's going to be insane.
I would have to wait and see. Now, there are people that play the mods on Arma, and they play the Vietnam versions. I watch those guys play. They're on the Discord channel. I sometimes I get into their channels and I go to the sites that they're playing on and I watch the game as a spectator. They're insane, dude. The guys are insane.
El Dente says, "Why would you go back to the original game if you make a new one?" It's because of the era. A lot of people like playing World War II games. Like huge amount of people love playing World War II games. They don't like playing, Vietnam. They don't like playing that era. So there's people that like just playing the games.
Vietnam's gonna be a hell of a lot more infantry than their vehicles. That's for damn sure.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Like what kind of support? Like what kind of support are you really gonna do if a point's not near a river? What's the boat gonna do for you? Right?
It's just to get you around the map faster. That's it.
100% agree. But at the same time, right? Are we gonna go back to the same rules as Hell Let Loose, where I can only drive the boat, you can't steal my boat, type of thing? Where I'm the only one that can have a boat. Right.
You have a boat. You have a captain. You have a
I'm
captain
the only one that has I'm the only one that can get into the helicopter. The enemy can't steal the helicopter. Are we going to those lines again?
I think they would. Yeah, I think they would. Right. I would think that they would. If you're the Viet Cong, right? I think you would be able to dig the holes and make all the traps, but the Americans won't be able to do that. You know what I mean? They're not making traps. So we would have to see what we have the boats, we have the tanks, we have the stuff. They're the guerrilla warfare. You know what I mean? They're the ones.
We would have to see the balancing issues. We would have to see.
Well,
we would have to see if they actually put all the perks that the NVA used in Vietnam into the actual game. We don't know yet. We're gonna have to see.
The thing that separates Hell Let Loose from everything else is the mechanics of the game, right? What are they going to do? Like, are they going to do napalm? Can I drop the napalm bomb?
Well, this is my point. This is my point.
You got the flamethrowers, as Krebsy's saying. You got to burn down the trees. Is there a fully destructible environment into this?
I'm using a flamethrower, but the trees don't burn.
Right.
When you do stuff like this in today's world, if I'm going to make a flamethrower, does stuff get burned? Do I get to make bunkers? Do I get to make trenches? Do I get? There's a whole list of stuff to talk about. Right. Throwing the word Vietnam on the screen, I could be excited about it, but at the same time, opens up a whole can of worms.
I think it comes out springtime. I think this is.
I just don't like the fact that the entire time that the Hell Let Loose has been out, and they've been telling us that they were trying to fix it. They never said that they were really working on another game. They said they were supporting this, and then all of a sudden, Nam comes out, which means they've been working on that game for years.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you said you were supporting. You were supporting Hell Let Loose,
right?
But not really.
It. Yeah, we're not fixing it. Yeah. I was kind of excited about it, but I was like, man, Vietnam. I was like, that's going to be. I think they should just keep adding more.
There has to be
more stuff inside of, which they said they are. They said they are going to keep supporting Hell Let Loose, World War II, and add more stuff to it. So we'll see. But a lot of people are saying, there's a whole update for fixing tanks. Tanks is coming out in early access. People are on the playtester.
I went to the Q&A for that. It doesn't look good.
I watched the whole video.
We're gonna see.
I watched the whole video of the tank player test tanks and stuff. They're still far away from that, but they're making these changes. So we'll see what happens with Hell Let Loose.
I mean, underground tunnels that all the NVA had.
They said that there's going to be in there. Yeah, they said there's going to be hidden tunnels and whatnot. All right, let me go to let's change gears a little bit from that to. This MarvelRivals devs have been given the go-ahead to make their own characters for a game, and I have literally no idea why they're doing that. Now, I'm not going to read the article. I just want to read it off the title, right? Now, I'm a little confused here because Marvel has hundreds of characters that they can use. Hundreds of beloved characters they can use. And they're like, hey, MarvelRivals, you got to go ahead to make your own character in this thing. And I'm like,
why? Are they giving them a cookie? For working so hard? I don't understand what that means. You're going to make up your own hero?
Yeah, I don't know why. Like, I would rather have Gambit, Cyclops, Colossus, Professor Xavier, Rogue, Nightcrawler, Juggernaut. You know what I mean? Like, I could just keep naming people just from the X-Men side that I would like in the game before Joe Schmo that you're making, right? Is Safe Space and Snowflake coming? Like, what's happening here? I'm a little confused by this. Because to make your own character, now you have to make a backstory. And you have to make the backstory.
You got to balance this character.
Yeah. And you got to make stories and stuff. It's already here. Why are we doing this? Why are we going to waste people's time where someone has to come up with a backstory and a story and then connect it? And now is it lore? Is it part of the what's the word I'm looking for?
What, the universe?
Yeah, is it part of the actual universe? Like, I just don't understand why they're doing this. Because I feel like they could waste their time getting the characters that people like in the actual game than wasting their time on characters that they don't care about.
I mean, maybe it's like a little present.
Canon, thank you, Krebsy.
Like, is it because they're giving them a present? Like, after they've been working so hard, you want to put your own character in there? So you're going to put your own character in there. They want to see what they come up with. Is it like a in-house competition that they're going to make their characters, and then the community is going to vote which character they like the best, and that's the one that stays in the game? You know what I mean? Is it one of those type of things going on? Like, I don't want to be part of a field trip right now. I thought you guys were trying to make a game and make it stay around for a little bit longer. Why are you going off on the dirt road now? You're doing well. You're releasing characters on time. You're doing well. People are
trying to make a problem,
right? And now we're going to throw hand grenades because things are going too smooth, and we got nothing to yell about. So because we throw some hand grenades. Because if you bring a character in, and let's say it is good, great. But now that's a spot that could have went to someone that really everybody knows and wants in there. And if a character sucks, well, then that's it for that. That people are jumping ship and be like, what? Why did you put Joe Schmo in here when we could have had this character? You know what I mean? So here it says, MarvelRivals devs have been given the big thumbs up to go ahead and make their own heroes or villains. That's according to a brief interview, snippet, He spoke to the director of the Rival tournament and held in China. He says, yes, quote, yes, we're allowed to introduce original characters in Marvel Rivals, unquote. He responded. As to whether or not the team's actually going to do that, said folks would have to stay tuned. So they didn't say, like, let me tell you something. Don't do it. Don't do it. Because if you take two guys, I don't care if it's two guys, they got to write a backstory, they got to write the character, they got to make stories with other characters in the actual world. You know what I mean? There's a lot to go in here. It's not just, Genie, wiggle your nose, and all of a sudden it appears in the game. There's a lot that goes into this, and I don't want that. I just want Marvel. It says Marvel Rivals, meaning there's characters that are already in the world, in the universe, that you're coming in and then bring it in here, and this is what it is. Instead of, hey, here's Snowflake. Bring in a character in. I don't know if it's Snowflake. You know what I mean? And then that's the person that we bring in. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it, Marvel. Let them just keep making the Marvel characters. I don't know. What do you guys think, chat? What do you think, Sarge? Do you think they should let these characters come in that are not actual Marvel characters? Do you care? Maybe people don't even care. They're just like, yeah, go ahead. Go for it. I mean, I don't know why you would want to waste time. It takes a lot of time to balance out a character, even to pick a character that's already existing and to want to put it into the game. You have to analyze the abilities, how to make it balance out. You can't just throw a character in there and do it. Now you're going to just make something up completely and then try to balance that out, right? You know what I mean? Like, it just seems weird that when you're doing well, you would want to hinder yourself by doing this. Now, I'm sure it sounds cool. The guys get a little break from copy pasting a bunch of characters already in the known canon, but at the same time, why? I think you're wrong there, Altern. I had to look it up because I don't know about a lot about Luna Snow, but Luna Snow came in 2015. It says Luna Snow was released in the video game Marvel Future Fight in 2015 and later made her comic debut in the War of the Realms New Agents Atlas #1 in May of 2019. So this means that, no, the video game company didn't make Luna Snow. Luna Snow is part of Colossus's little sister, is she not? I mean, let's let it happen. I mean, it's not enough. It's not enough that they probably had a meeting and someone cried and said, "Well, I want to make up my own character." And
I see what you're saying. Hold on one second. I see what you're saying. You're saying Future Fight's made by them, so they made her for that game. Then she became in the comics, and then now they're making this game, so they made it, but they didn't make it for this game. I see what you're saying. Gotcha.
Well, let's see what happens.
Well, okay. Let's take
happens.
that. Let's take that. They made the character, and they gave her a good backstory, right? They made her a teen pop star that has special powers, and then she's a sibling. She's a sibling of one of the characters that was already established in the world, which grounds her. So I guess I'll play devil's advocate here. If they make a character that's connected to somebody where they don't have to waste their time making a character that's not good, right? Again, Luna Snow, if they made her, she's 10 years old now, and a lot of people understand who that character is. So I don't know. I think if they, especially in Marvel Rivals, because the way Marvel Rivals is, if they waste the time and money to bring in a new character and it flops, it's going to look bad unless they release that character with another character at the same time to soften the blow, right? Because if it works out, then it's double whammy. Oh, great, we have two great new characters. But if it doesn't work out, then you have nobody, and then you wasted a season to wait for one of the characters that you actually want in the game.
It just seems strange to do this kind of stuff. I mean, were things going too well? Is that what was happening?
I don't know. I just think
was everything going too well? Everyone liked the game. They wanted to play it.
There's 33 characters in the new Doomsday movie that's coming out. Okay, there's so many actors playing characters in that thing that could be a video game in itself with all the characters. And you're like, let's make up a new character. It's like, no, don't do this. Establish yourself a little bit better. You've been out for less than a year. Right, get some more establishment. Right, here's a question I have. Maybe you know this, Altor. When did Marvel's Future Fight come out, and then when did they release the character? How many years was it out before they added that character? Did it come out in 2015? Let me see. Let's see, released when? No, it came out 2015. So they released her in that. So the game was new, she was new, and they're in the thing. I will be more than glad to say I was wrong, but then bringing a new character in and not bombing.
I will be more than happy.
All right. Going from that, let's go to what time is it? We'll do one more story before we do the next story. We'll do a quick one here. This is not really a story. This is more just a info blast here. BioShock developer lays off 30% of the studio. Okay, 30% of the staff of Cloud Chamber, the studio behind the next BioShock game, reports state already a decade into development. A decade into development. The next BioShock game was due out to release in 2026 or early 2027, which means 12 years. 12 years to get the game out, but will be delayed further. Okay, with the decision made to give the game more time in development. More than 80 jobs were cut in the changes in the studio that will also have around 250 employees before the layoffs, representing the huge portion of the workforce. Now, we watched a video about Laura Fryer maybe about a month ago, talking about upper management being bad, and when people don't really know their job, they should get fired, but they don't get fired. I mean, would this be one of those situations?
How many times have we heard a management guy get fired? Very few. Very few times did the upper management guy they let go because of reasons. It's always the development team that gets let go. It's their fault.
10 years. 10 years.
10 years is too long, bro.
Right? You gotta shit or get off the pot, right?
If it's taking you 10 years to make a game like that, then you don't know what you're doing. Like, you don't know what you want to do with the game. You're suffering from content creep. You have no idea what you want to do with it.
Well, then also on top of that, what's the budget of that game?
Well, don't forget, you have to put all the factors involved. When they say they're letting people go, they're letting people go that already done the job, that part of the job for the game, and then they're done. They let those people go. You know what I mean?
Sure, you could say that, or unless that part of the game hasn't got there yet. You know what I mean?
Either way, you're telling me that a game's been in development for 10 years plus, and now you're letting people go off the game. You need more time. Who's in charge? Number one, who's in charge of the game? What publisher's in charge? Who's the head director? Who's the head? Who's in charge? Right?
Well,
What's
here
going on?
It says plans for the next BioShock installment began in 2014, the year after the release of BioShock Infinite. Though there was also significant changes in the iterations of games originally at the helm was shattered by 2K after director Ken Levine left to start a small studio with Take-Two. The report from Bloomberg says Trouble didn't end there, with Certain Infinity taking the reins and working on the game for roughly 2 years. And the deal required the studio to fell through. Right, Take-Two then decided to start in the in-house studio and lead development, hiring 2017 for what would also become Cloud Chamber.
They never had a group of people dedicated to the game to begin with. Now we're passing the torch.
They passed the torch
from one
Certain
team
Infinity
to another team to another team, and you guys are still trying to pump this thing out. Why? Why?
I don't know. Well, there you go. There's that disaster that's going to happen. Don't pre-order. Don't buy day one.
I just don't get it, man. Do you actually believe that it's cost effective to work on a fucking IP for over 10 years, have all this trouble with it, and still think you're going to make a profit after working on a game for 10 years? What kind of nickel and dime thing are you doing to work on a game for that long that you're not burning through money? These guys do not know how to handle money, right?
There's so many people that are in these positions that don't know how to do it.
It's constant, man. How many times are we going to see it? How many times do you see the guys throwing money at these games over and over again and to end up nothing?
Yep. 7 years. Dupla says, look at Anthem. 7 years Anthem was in development, and 13 months before that game came out is what they figured out. Oh, that's what we're making. Fortnite took 8 years to make Save the World, and within 3 months they switched it to Battle Royale.
All the talent that we had for the golden years got older and burnt out. They want to do their own thing. There was nobody left to teach the new people coming in. And now you end up with these guys pumping out games like a cookie cutter, and they're not learning how to do things properly. They're just learning how to cookie cutter the same game over and over again. And so there's not the brain drain is happening across the industry. And the guys who are good made their own studios and making small games that get noticed to basically they're trying to start over. The guys who worked in early on when we were growing up have now made up their own studios and doing small games to get noticed again and to build
and then
from
sell
there.
those companies again. Yeah.
It's the same story. But how many of these companies do you see do the same shit, bro? It's the same.
Well,
it doesn't take 10 years to make a game. Just stop.
These managers need to look up to somebody, Sarge. They need to look up to one of the best managers out there. The lead guy in Borderlands is Mr. Randy Pitchford. Randy Pitchford is the guy who's
somebody owes me money. I told you he wasn't going to be able to shut the fuck up. Right. I told you.
Borderlands 4 would still be worth it at 5 times the price, Gearbox boss says. Now,
so $350. So $350.
He thinks $350 would
$350.
$350 would be the perfect amount of money for people. All right. Now he does say a couple things in here. Okay. Now he says that Pitchford previously stirred up things with real fans. We'll find a way to, a couple months ago about the $80 working at an ice cream shop to get stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
This part I actually agree with
handies
him. Right?
When he was younger, he did handies at truck stops. Whatever he could do to get that game.
Let's be honest. The sum of social media talk and the sum of every article written about that doesn't matter. He says, literally, it doesn't. He said, at the end of the day, all of us do what we approach to entertainment. We think about what we want, and what is it that we're asking us for us. Because he wants something, and it feels a fair price, whether or not the barrier is. He says we explored it, we engage in it, and it doesn't feel fair, we step away. Which I understand, right? Like if we're saying that the price of video games, $70, is too much for video games, and a lot of people don't want to buy the $70 video games. Definitely don't want to buy the $80 video games. You definitely don't want to buy the $100 video games. Are there people that pay $100, $125? Yes. A small portion buys those types of things, right? It says Pitchford said Gearbox, along 2K and owner of Take-Two, set out to choose prices that also feel fair in exchange to the consumer. A person who buys Borderlands 4 for $70 would feel like they ended up getting the better end of the deal, Pitchford said, adding that he believes Gearbox has always lived up to that. Now, for Borderlands 4, Pitchford Gearbox is delivering something that's amazing value, adding that the price point discussion online is going to blow over, and it's going to be fine. He says, the price isn't up to me anyway. He says, so engaging in conversation that's happening on the internet for the product online conversation doesn't matter. Okay, Pitchford went on to say that he's thrilled by the decision that the price of Borderlands 4 at $70 for a standard edition, and he understands that we're currently a cost of living crisis, and some people might not have as much money to spend the entertainment. So get a job at the entertainment in an ice cream parlor on Pebble Beach, right? And he believes that Borderlands 4 over delivers on value relative.
That's up to us,
foreshadowing,
not to you.
Foreshadowing Bungie new president. He also doesn't want to over deliver. So just keep that in mind. So, right, to make his point,
he doesn't get to decide that.
Yeah, to his point, Pitchford said 2K would also have charged much more and still would have represented good value. He says, I want everyone to play it. I want as many people as possible to play it, and they might be a little bit friction there as some people as prices go up. But I also know that from the value perspective, they probably could have charged 5 times as much, and it would have felt worth it, he said. And some people might have also been willing to pay that. I don't know if I would have. I think you would. You said real fans, Randy. You said real fans will find a way. And he says, so I want to be as cheap as possible. So think about that. He wants to be as cheap as possible, but he wants to charge.
He wants it to be as cheap as possible.
Right. He wants to be as cheap as possible.
He doesn't pick the price. Obviously, well, another lie again. He doesn't know what the price is. He has no idea. We already went through this already.
But he does. He knows what the budget is. He knows what they can get out of it.
You don't get to decide what you believe the value of your game is. The customer decides the value of your game, what they feel their value is with your product. That's how it works. You think that the game at $350 is still worth it in his eyes, of course, because it's his baby. Of course, that's like saying my kid isn't worth anything. Of course, you're going to say your kid's worth something.
Yeah, no, the year 2042. Are you paying $350 for video games? I'm not. I'm not paying $80 for video games.
I think that he's just, it's like this shotgun type of advertisement he does. He thinks controversy keeps the buzz going. And so as long as the buzz of the game is keep going, he thinks it's a win for him. But what he doesn't realize is there are people on Reddit and inside these channels that talk about Borderlands, and they say out loud to other people, because of him, will not be buying the game. Like, don't care.
Does he understand? He has to look at the books, right? Borderlands 1 is what I would consider a cult classic to a movie, right? Borderlands 1, when it came out, didn't sell very well.
Yeah, it didn't have it didn't have a huge following.
No, it sold quite a bit later because of Borderlands 2. When Borderlands 2 came out, okay, that also didn't sell very well at launch. And then the DLC started coming out.
Started building up the following.
Right. It started building up like a cult following behind the Borderlands thing. And then it blew up. Had a cult following, had a lot of people playing it. A lot of streamers started picking it up and started playing it. It became a really good game. And that's what people remember Borderlands 2. Then people went and bought Borderlands 1 as well. Borderlands 2 has sold 30 million copies. Now, I would assume that 75% of that was sold after the fact of after launch. They didn't pay full price for that. Because me and you, we didn't play Borderlands 1 when it came out. We didn't play Borderlands 2 when it came out. We bought it after the DLCs and stuff came out, and then it was on sale, and I picked up Borderlands 1, Borderlands 2, and I paid $20 for both Borderlands 1 and Borderlands 2, and then we started buying the DLCs for Borderlands 2 after the fact when they were coming out. But now I look at this, and it's $70. And I understand businesses try to charge as much as possible, and then they lower the price afterwards. But I think if you wanted some goodwill right now, if Randy and 2K, because they're making plenty of cash from NBA 2K and GTA Online and all the other things, right? If Borderlands 4 came out, because they know they're going to make the money off the DLCs that they're selling down the road, and they came out and said $50, this would sell 20, 30 million units. 100%.
But they're not going to do that.
They won't do that. Works. Right. They're going to sell it for $70. They'll sell 5 million units, and they'll be like, see, we're super popular, and then this is what it is, right? And they might go on and sell, because Borderlands 3 sold 22 million units. They don't tell you how many sold after the fact, because I know a lot of people didn't buy it when it first came out, right? But it's at 22 million units now.
But that's the game we play now. When the game releases, we're not told how many it sells anymore. We're told how many people engaged with it. We know this game now. So
I don't know.
Box store, remember, Box Store's not in charge anymore. Digital only. They control the numbers. They control what they want to tell you. So as far as they're concerned, they sold 10 million copies and they don't even know. right? They'll just tell you over and over again that they sold the largest sale of games ever. Whatever words go around the truth that make it sound good is what they do. That's what they do now.
The next story,
We'll see.
Is Helldivers 2 and Halo ODST. Okay. They showed the war bond thing. They showed the Halo drop in. Guy comes out of the pod. He's got the shotgun. He's got the rifle. He's got all the Halo stuff. It looks awesome. People are psyched about this on Xbox, right?
Oh, I'm sure they're ecstatic.
Yeah. So they got the war bond. And what do you think of this? What do you think about Helldivers 2 getting teaming up with Halo?
Well, let's see. First off, Helldivers 2 was a great game to come out at the right time that made people feel fun about that type of kind of shooter, right? Camaraderie with your buddies, get into the game, get out of the game, level up your weapons. Good. It was a good game loop. Halo has been destroyed now after 4 consecutive failures. Lack of support, lack of ingenuity, lack of passion, and now they were literally taken off the box. Microsoft didn't want Halo on the box of their system anymore. They put Starfield on there instead. So what you're telling me is that's not your flagship anymore. You're telling me you don't care about Halo anymore. Yeah. So now I agree with you. We don't care about Halo anymore. So the minute somebody else comes out with a game that fits the bill that Halo should have been doing for the last 10 years, and they're doing it better than them, they have to piggyback on it so we start caring about Halo again. I got news for you. I don't give a fuck about Halo anymore, right? You wanted me not to like it anymore? You won. Congratulations. I don't give a shit about Halo anymore. Helldivers 2, fun game. The fact that you want me to spend money on shit that you didn't want me to pay attention to from before, go fuck yourself, right? I don't care. I don't care. Making me held the weapons on a character that I'm making in a different game so I can reminisce about a game that you guys fucked up for the last 10 years. Go fuck yourself.
If I was, I do think it's smart from a marketing standpoint, right? Because PlayStation's coming over with their game, because it's a live service game coming over to Xbox, and they're like, how do we get people to be interested on Xbox to buy this game, right? Because it's Helldivers. And they're like, well, why don't we team up with Halo and put it in?
Everybody who wanted to buy Helldivers bought it.
Well, I understand that, but the people that are on Xbox couldn't buy it. Now they can. But they're like, how do we get that incentive? Yeah, so how do we get that incentive of getting people on Xbox to buy it? Well, Halo is a beloved franchise on Microsoft, on Xbox, so why don't we put it in Helldivers? If I was running Microsoft and I saw Helldivers doing, I would chase the trend, because ODST in their own separate game to compete against Helldivers, I think would have been perfect. But instead, they're like, minimal viable product. Let's just piggyback on top of these guys.
You had 10 fucking years to make a Halo game.
Yeah.
You could have made ODST all day fucking long.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong.
What are you talking about?
Don't get me wrong. I like the fact that they're doing this for the marketing purpose. You're
excited about looking at Halo shit inside of a Helldivers game now. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Go fuck yourself, bro. It's like a mod, right? Like, for instance, I play Starfield, but I play Starfield with the Star Wars mod, right? Starfield's okay, but because I play Starfield with Star Wars mods, I feel like it's a better game, right? Because I'm living the fantasy of a Star Wars universe inside the thing. These people are living in a universe where they think the ODSTs are the Helldivers now in the Helldivers game.
Yeah, great. So what I'm really hearing is we fucked up an IP so badly, and we want to try to get back those people. So we're going to piggyback onto another game that did a job better than we could, even though we had an IP for over fucking 25 years, and we can't figure out what we want to do with it. Somebody else spent, 18 months, 2 years to figure out what kind of game they wanted to make and make it better than the guy who invented the fucking game. And now you want me to care? I don't understand your premise anymore. I don't understand. You had plenty of time to make a fucking game. You had plenty of time and an entire generation of people waiting for you to make a game. And everybody was like, I don't know what to make. Let's make another Halo game with this stuff in it. Wait, no inventiveness, no ingenuity, no forward thinking. Just keep pumping out the same stupid game. Don't try to make it better. Somebody else makes it better, and immediately they're pulling shit out of the attic. Bring it back down. They like this kind of stuff again. Like, no shit, buddy. No shit.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know, a part of me, the gamer side, I would like a separate game of ODST like a Helldivers. Okay? Because I like Halo.
ODST is Helldivers.
No, I understand that. What I'm saying is I would like a standalone game of that. I would like an ODS game like Helldivers. Okay? Instead of putting this in Helldivers. I think Helldivers 2 is a fantastic game. I love it. Okay? I have like 70 hours in the game, right? Absolutely love it. But I feel like this is a minimal viable product. Microsoft's like, we don't want to make the game, because even Dupla said they pitched it and they said no. They pitched ODST existed before Helldivers, and also pitched it and they said no for the actual thing. All right, so I would hope that they would make their game down the road. This is the outcome. We're like, well, we can't do that for you, but this is the next best thing, right? And that's what kind of saddens me. But
I'm not giving them a fucking dime, fake money or real money. I'm not giving them a dime to reminisce about a game that you fucked up. I'm not doing it. Go fuck yourself. Yeah. Right? I would rather somebody else right now make another game just like Helldivers, release that one on top of everything else. I would buy that instead. Somebody else who goes even further and does something else fun and exciting and something new, instead of trying to piggyback off on nostalgia because you fucked it up, right? Why do you destroy an IP and then blame me and then want me to come back to engage with the shit that you don't like? You didn't like it. You didn't care about it. You didn't support it. And now you want me to give back. You want me to engage with it again? I don't understand. We've moved on, right? In life, I'm
buying Helldivers for the Xbox. So
in life, you move forward. Shit goes wrong. Shit goes bad. You suck it up, learn from the mistakes, and you move forward. You don't get to stop and go, hey, you know what? I really wish I would have did this, and this 8 years ago. Let me go fix it. There's no fixing it, right? You didn't care about it. You didn't care about it. And now you want me to engage with it again. Like, no, bro. Let it rot, right? To engage with it says to them that no matter what you do, as long as you give me a cookie, I'll come back for the cookie. I don't want a fucking cookie. I want the whole meal, right? You don't want to pay for a full meal? I'm not paying for a full meal. That's how this works. You want me to live off of snacks? I got plenty of games that'll give me snacks all day long. I'm not engaging with this shit anymore, bro. I'm not giving them any iota that I'm going to replay anything that let it die. Let it die. Move on to the next thing. Move on, right? They can't. Every new IP we've ever seen that they keep trying to make fails. 10 years, fired. 8 years, fired. 6 years, fired. Like, what do you got? When are you guys going to make a game? Oh, I'm sorry. You made a game. Oh, right. Remake. Side scroller with better graphics. Another side scroller with better graphics. The team that actually did something, the Final Fantasy copycat, I call it the Final Fantasy copycat, but made a turn-based game into a more motive, clear obscure, right? Made it a fun turn-based game. Wow. Record-breaking, right?
Yeah.
Nobody else could think about that. You guys have been in the industry for 25 years, 30 years. You can't figure a way to make it more fun?
Waterbear's
Come on, man.
Waterbear's asking you, so Sarge, are you blaming Helldivers or Microsoft for shitting on the Halo and then then giving Helldivers to players a cookie?
Microsoft didn't give a shit about Halo after 4 attempts and shitting the bed, right? Shitting the bed. It's not a mistake. Shitting the bed. Then you remove it from the box, which means you don't no longer look at it as a mascot for your. Yeah. That's what you were built on. A pillar. The pillar of Microsoft gaming was fucking Halo, right? And you decided to kick it, put some C4 on it, and blew the fucking pillar up because you don't care about it anymore. It's just not marketable anymore. So we need to move on to something better like Stargate. What?
Starfield.
Sorry. Right? Starfield. What are you doing? Right? You believe that this is a pillar for your new and improved gaming experience? That's your pick? Come on, bro. Please. We got guys. Splitgate did a better job making a crappier game than the guys who've been working on this thing for 30 years.
That is true. Splitgate made a good original game, right? They took something.
But even they don't
They
have
fucked it
the
up.
patience
Yeah.
and wherewithal.
They chase the trends.
to
They chase
follow
the trends.
through with what
Yeah.
you wanted to do. Chase the money and move on. Imagine how much money you're making. Imagine how much money you're making if you can spend 8 years trying to make a game, completely fail at it, fire everybody, don't fire the management, and restart another game with no penalties. We just move
Right.
on to the next thing. How much money are you making that you can do all that? Doesn't matter, right? And then have the nerve to tell me that gaming is just expensive. We all need to reach deeper into our pockets and
Yeah.
pull out a
Yeah.
little bit more cheddar because things are a little bit more difficult now. You guys are throwing away money like it's toilet
for
paper.
Shitty, yeah,
Like
for shitting games.
You don't
Yeah.
even care about the money you have, and you want more money.
So going from that, let's go to this real fast because I just want to show this. There's a deep dive into this, and you can go watch it. And there's a lot of information here, but I'm just going to show this for the people that are Path of Exile fans.
Look at this shit.
I started this. This is not a game, Sarge. This is a added
Oh, this is a
content
game?
for Act 4. No, this is just Act 4.
Yeah, but once again, it's only a. It's.
Yeah, no, I know. That's what I'm saying. You
It's
look
not
at
released
this,
yet, bro.
You look at
not
this,
released.
and this is Act 4 of an early access game, and this has got
100%.
more content and more things in a game that
actual
is
game.
free to play than an actual game
An
that's
actual
been
game.
running for 8 years. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So I just want to go over this just so people understand. Path of Exile 2 is in early access right now. Okay. The only way you can play it is if you buy one of the packages, which is like $20, but you're not paying for the game. You're paying for the skins and stuff that are in the game, and they let you have early access to the actual game. Okay. So this is Act 4 that's coming out. Okay. And this comes out on the 29th, August 29th. They're adding a new class, as you can see there. Okay. They're adding Explore Act 4. So there's going to be Act 4 of actual story in there. 16 new areas, 12 new bosses just in that act. Okay. Then they're putting the 3 elude acts, which is going to disappear after this is out. It's like 2 months, 3 months, and then it's going to go away, but it's not leaving the game. They didn't just make it to just throw away. They put it in the game so you could play it now, which adds another 19 new areas, plus another 12 bosses, and then once it disappears from this, it goes to the end game once the full-fledged game comes out. Okay? So this is end game stuff right here. Okay? Then they have the new league, Rise of Abyssal, okay, where new crafting systems introduced, and then 4 new bosses on top of that. So just let's recap so far. You have 24 new bosses between these two things, okay? You have 25 new areas between these two things. And then down here you have 4 new bosses, which is 28 bosses just in these 3 things. That's a game. That's Diablo plus 2 DLCs, okay, for Diablo. And you got to pay full price for each of those DLCs from Blizzard, okay? Then they're doing more major rebalancing for the classes. All classes buffed. They're putting 150 new notables, which is your skill tree, inside there. And they're putting 12 new skill gems within the game itself, okay? On top of everything that's already in the game on top of that. Then they're putting new support system in here. They got multiple levels, multiple copies of the same support gem. They're doing 40 lineage support gems. And then they're doing a trade system. They're adding sprinting into the actual game. They're doing 25 new endgame maps on top of these that are actually turning into endgame at the end once the game fully comes out. So now all of this, but wait, there's more, right? Then they're adding crafting changes, higher tier currency items, essence changes, and then new omens as well. And this is just coming in Act 4. This week. Plus you have Act 1, 2, 3, and all the areas they added in there already, plus all the weapons and plus all the other things they've added. And Diablo is falling over themselves, right? Why you would play Diablo, why you would pay $70, $80 to play Diablo, okay, instead of playing this. They do everything better in this game. The gameplay, the content, the story, everything Everything is better in Path of Exile 1 and Path of Exile 2. They're still supporting Path of Exile 1, by the way, right? And if you buy stuff in this, because this is how they make their stuff, free game. Make a game, but they're not selling a game. They're making the game and selling skins, right? But they made a game. They made a fucking game. This game is amazing, okay? Absolutely amazing. What do you think of all this stuff that you see right here, Sarge?
Tell me you're not trying to put Blizzard in the ground without telling me you're not trying to put Blizzard in the ground. Right? This to me is a direct competition to Diablo. There's not even a thought in my mind otherwise. All they do is show them what kind of game they want to make for an action role-playing game. They put it right here in front of you. This is what we're doing. They've been talking about this kind of stuff forever. They did the same thing when they released the game prior to releasing the game. I heard it had a little problems in the beginning, but they ironed them out. But at the same time, look at the detail and look what the team has done since the release. Well, since the Diablo release.
Since the
Diablo release. They wanted to make sure that if you had to pick a side, right?
Well,
because don't forget, anybody who doesn't get Diablo is a brokey, right, bro? Like the whole idea here was if you don't want to play the season, have to buy the season, and then every season you have to start over. Like, I don't understand the mentality of that business model. Meanwhile, you have this, which is saying, hey, we made an action RPG. Here are all the perks. Here's all the other things that we have laid out. Right? I find it strange, though, again, I put this game in the same realm as Star Citizen, a game that's not released, and yet they can do all these things with it. I don't know the legality of the benefits of them not being actually released or not. If there's some kind of thing in the background that I got to look up again on why they don't release and they stay in this early access thing that they do.
Because you can do updates. I know a little bit of it. You can do updates where if you release a game and do a patch, it has to go through a certain process. Okay. But if you're an early access or a beta game and you have updates, they go through much faster because it's still a work in progress, right? So if a game, once it releases, so for instance, let's say this game was out, gold, and they were going to put this DLC or patch in, it has to go through and PlayStation's got to look at it and say,
is it the
it's
ESRB?
okay?
Is it what?
I'm not too
level?
sure. I couldn't answer. I couldn't answer that for you. All I know is I remember reading when Fortnite was doing this and Star Citizen and stuff like that, they could push more things through because it didn't have to hit the same criteria as a game that's out. Once the game is out, it goes into a separate category. So if they release this would take like 3 weeks to go through the process to get in. Okay. But if you're in early access or a preview program or whatever, you could just throw it in there, right? It's a quick check, make sure there's no viruses input into the thing, but you can just keep making changes. So the reason this is why they keep it early access.
So when does this release?
It was supposed to, okay, so this came out last year, early access, and they said within the next year. So now we're approaching that year, and now they've changed the roadmap a little bit where it was supposed to it could have came out in the summer, but it didn't, okay? And then it could have came out by winter, but now it's not. So it's pushed into 2026 sometime for the full release. But obviously...
I'm talking about the full release. I'm talking about this right here.
This 29th, the 29th.
The 29th of this month.
This month, yeah.
This is insane. That's incredible.
Yeah, this is just this part of the.
I'm not talking about the release of the actual game. I'm talking about. I was just talking about this.
Yeah, this is just a patch. Yeah. Dark Taco says indeed patches get certification. Yeah, much faster than if it was released all out.
So, do we know how large the studio is? Do you know how large the studio is working on PoE?
Chat, you guys know. I don't remember. Krebsy said it a couple times before in the past. They're a smaller studio, but here's the thing. This whole thing started because they were Diablo 2 fans, right? They loved Diablo 2 so much they wanted more Diablo 2, so they went out and made a better Diablo 2. And now you have where Diablo-esque style game, and Path of Exile is the king of these games. They do such a good job, man. The abilities, the powers, the skill trees, the way it moves, it just feels so good. I was just playing it before. I played it for about an hour before we started.
Well, my question always goes to is if the guys who are working on Path of Exile 2 is a small studio which less funds, and,
Thanks,
and they're not charging for the game early access, and the stores are running apparently, right? The stores in game
you
are
can
running.
buy cosmetic. You're buying cosmetics. You're not buying the game.
Right. So the cosmetics in the game are keeping this game afloat. They're keeping those guys paid for.
Let me tell you, they're not just giving you skins. Like the skins that you buy, these are high end skins, and not only are they giving you skins, they're giving you like housing as well. So you can get the thematic skin with all of these animations and emotes and stuff, plus the house that you live in, where your own island or whatever it is.
No, I get it. What I'm saying is they're able to afford to keep their studio running with a game that's not
just
like Star
microtransactions.
Citizen. So just like Star Citizen.
Well, it's different because they have Path of Exile 1. So Path of Exile 1 is still funding the stuff.
Got it.
For Path of Exile 2, and Path of Exile 2 is now also funding them.
Yeah, it's unreal to me, right? How this particular type of free-to-play model can just completely crush a pay model.
Yeah, because we were just talking about, which we're about to go into, Jason Truman, which is the new president of Bungie. He's been on the record saying, don't over-deliver. These guys are 100% over-delivering because they're making a game, sell a game, right? And what other companies look at is like, well, don't make the game. Let's make a half-ass game, and then we'll charge full price for that half-ass game, and then we'll fix it over the next 12, 18 months to get the full game. But we want the money up front for the half game to get the money up front, and then more money on top of that for the rest of the stuff that we're putting in. Where these guys are saying, this is it, this is what we're doing, and it's all free. It's all free because when the game actually releases, you don't have to pay anything to play this game. You can because you're like, man, this is a lot of fucking content. I think I'm going to pay a microtransaction.
Well, just one character alone with that skill tree and the abilities you can pick and the kind of different types of playable, not just playable classes, but the types of playability for one character that you can pick from. Never mind all the classes. So you're looking at thousands and thousands of hours of content here for yourself. And they're thinking about it as like if they played Diablo 2. Now, I remember Diablo 2. I spent a lot of time in Diablo 2, like an obscene amount of time.
Yeah.
And so they basically just wanted to be able to live in that world for as long as possible. And so they made that possible, right? So I don't see how AAA companies are going to survive the next 10 years if they still are following the roadmap of how they're going to release games. I just don't see how it's going to work. All I'm going to see over and over again is how more dev teams are going to get fired.
Well, the next thing we're going to talk about, we're not really going to talk much about it, but we are going to talk about it because breaking news, Bungie CEO Pete Parsons is retiring from his role at Bungie. Okay. Now, I was wrong. I said he was going to leave last year. You said he was going to leave by Christmas.
No, I said after Christmas, and I can't count this as a win. It's too far after Christmas.
Right, it's too far out.
What it is a year. It's been a year since we talked about it.
It's been a year, yeah.
So exactly like we said, the maturation of his stock options he had to wait a year before he could move out, and now that year has come. Right? And here we are.
So I did this right before the show, so not just the picture. We have a nice little for all the work, a little send-off to Pete Carson for all of his work that he's done at Bungie over the years and how he really cared. And now he's setting off into the sunset with his golden parachutes. So this goes out to you, Pete Carson. Oh, there it is. Comes from the heart.
He packed his bags, said it's been a ride, left Bungie burning while he cruised outside. Gamers cry out, the studio's toast. Pete's counting cash on the West Coast. Golden parachute Pete, drifting through the sky. While destiny's sinking, he waves goodbye. Didn't save the game, but he saved his when Bungie needed help, Pete wasn't home. Now he's flying high with a wallet so fat. Players look up and say, what's up with that? Golden parachute Pete, rolling off in style. Bungie's fate, well, it might take a while. You left us rage half-baked and loot disputes. Now he's gone with his golden parachute. Now, son, they say don't over-deliver, but Pete sure did on his car collection. Justin takes the torch with a trembling hand, says don't expect too much, you'll understand. Pete's sipping wine while the studio's fried, smiling wide on that golden glide. Golden parachute Pete, cashing out the door. We're stuck grinding strikes while he shops for more. Destiny's future, well, ain't that cute? Thanks to Carson and his golden parachute. Yeehaw! Bungie's broke, but Pete's garage sure ain't.
That's a beautiful send-off. It's a beautiful send-off to Pete
Absolutely.
Carson. We'll never have to talk about this man ever again. And now the new guy comes in. Okay, Justin Truman comes in, who for sure is going to sink the ship. He's the guy that said literally, don't over-deliver. So minimal, viable product, 100% going forward for Destiny. So congratulations. You got your guy out, but now you have the next guy coming in. As Wolverine says, he says, look, this guy is to blame for sure, but the one still driving the Destiny ship should also be canned, especially after EOF, right? Which is the last. But there you go. So say goodbye to all the cars that he bought while he was on the show for us, because there's a lot of them there. I put all the Matchbox cars behind him.
I like the sit and spin. I think the sit and spin.
Yeah, the
is
sit
one
and
of my
spin up
favorite.
here. Yeah, you got the sit and spin. You got the Dukes of
One
Hazzard.
of my favorite.
You got the Ghostbusters car. You got the Dumb and Dumber car.
The big wheel. The
Yeah.
big wheel is also good. I thought the big
Dukes
wheel
of
was good.
Hazzard big wheel. Okay. So
There it
there's
is.
a
Right,
lot-
it is a Dukes of Hazzard.
It's the Dukes of Hazzard. Yeah. Stories behind everything. So there you go. Pete Carson is gone from Bungie. He will be missed. Not really, but there it is.
I
So-
mean, it's almost scary though that it's on a clock like that. Like the deal's in, you have to wait for the deal to close. You have to wait for the stocks to mature. You can't run away, so you have to just sit patiently and watch everything burn around you. And then when the year clock ticks off, you just cash out and walk away. It's great. It must be so great to be in a position where you can do no wrong and just everybody else around you gets let go. It's cool. Must be a fantastic job.
Xander, the only way you could listen to the song is if you play this back. I'll tell you what, if this video, okay, hits, what do we usually get? If it gets 50 likes. So if anyone's watching this after the fact, if it gets 50 likes, I will put it up for people to stream on Spotify. Okay, if it gets 50 likes, that's not a big asking. Okay, so if we get 50 likes, I will put it up on Spotify, like with the rest of the music that
I'm still waiting for the 30 likes of the damn chat.
Yeah. So, but
I mean,
about to make 40 accounts. All right. So the next thing I want to talk about is let's talk about Disney a little bit. We have Battlefield to talk about, but let's talk about Disney for a little bit here. Okay. So Disney has boy trouble. Okay, and it means that they've lost
In more ways than one. They've got
in more ways than one. It's a double entendre, right?
Yep.
The boy trouble that they're missing is little boys that don't like the brands anymore, right?
Well, it's not little boys. They lost Gen Z is what they're saying.
Well,
Not like
they
little
lost-
kids.
Well, no, they lost. Yeah, they lost everything. From Gen Zers, little boys, everything. They lost. There's no boy brand at Disney. Okay,
because they got rid of it all.
They got rid of everything. They made it all princessy, or they made it all girl boss type of stuff. So they bought Marvel and they bought Star Wars, the two big boy brands, and they completely tarnished both of those brands that are hurting big time right now. So it says, to win back Gen Z amid a Marvel Lucasfilm struggles, Cinderella's Sleeping Beauty aren't the only ones looking for a prince. Leadership at Walt Disney Studios has been pressing Hollywood creatives in recent months. Multiple sources tell Variety for movies that will also bring young men back to the brand in a meaningful way. Young men is defined here as sources of 13 to 28, okay, a.k.a. Gen Z. First, though, every film studio is looking for better ways to convert young audiences into habitual moviegoers. Numerous studios show that Gen Z men, in particular, are a lonely gaming-obsessed group who were hampered in the formative years by COVID-19 lockdowns. Okay, let me make that.
Whoa. Calm down. Just calm down for just a second, okay? Little less than 2 years for the COVID thing, okay, doesn't destroy an entire generation of people for 2 years. Right, I didn't pay attention for 2 years of school. I didn't end up destitute and homeless for 2 fucking years. Right, people have bad years back to back. You're telling me we destroyed an entire generation for 2 years because of school problem? Everyone needs to calm down. Right, please. I understand what they're trying to get across here. Right, I'll let you go back to your reading, but we didn't destroy an entire generation for 2 years. Right, because you got to play video games without going to school. Please calm down.
The next thing it says, this is the same Disney whose multi-billion-dollar content engine, Marvel and Lucasfilm, have stated men of all ages over almost 2 decades since the company acquired them. The sources say that Disney has been seeking new IP and pitches such as a splashy global adventure or treasure hunts, as well as seasonal fare-like films for Halloween. The calls come as the Star Wars machine struggles to produce the film projects and superhero genres, sheds audiences by the minute. I don't know why this is so difficult, right? They have Star Wars. Hold on. They have Star Wars, and they're like, we got to figure out how to get guys to like Star Wars again. I don't know. How about you make fucking Star Wars instead of making all these things that you're making?
Nope, sorry, bro. You're incorrect on that one.
We got to make treasure hunts.
It's not about making Star Wars.
We like dinosaurs.
And here comes the clip event that you guys are probably going to clip me for, and I don't care at this point, right? You need to remove women from trying to make boy content.
Yes.
I'm tired of women trying to make boy content, right? The entire industry was fine when guys were writing for guys and guys were making video games for guys.
Yeah. But 70s, 80s, 90s.
And here's the analogy I'll use. It's always the same story. The boys have a clubhouse. The girls come over and say, we want to play in the clubhouse. We say, we don't want you in the clubhouse. They cry for a week. They tell all their parents, and we have to let them into the clubhouse. Then they come into the clubhouse. They change everything around. The boys don't want to hang out in the clubhouse anymore because they turned it into some girly thing that we don't care about. So we leave them with the clubhouse because you got it. We go make our own thing again and repeat the process, right? Keep your fucking hands out of our fucking business, please, right? How do you have these IPs making billions of dollars over the last 30 years, and you come wandering in thinking you can make it better, and then when it all comes burning down, who do they blame? They blame us, right? Here's a little tip, guys, gentlemen out there who don't understand how women think. They'll never, ever, ever, ever admit to any accountability or responsibility for their actions, ever. And if you're not married yet, you'll soon find out. And when you're married, you know I'm right. Zero accountability, zero responsibility. It doesn't matter. They get what they get, and they blame us for the rest. Show me where the boys got their stuff from. Show me the young man movies. Show them to me. Show me one that hasn't been tainted or destroyed by some feminist propaganda about how everybody's got to be fair. Show me the show. You're not gonna. Right? There's a reason why South Park's been harping on them for fucking 10 years. Right? There's a reason everybody else has been harping on them for 10 years. It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
You guys can't make a show because you're trying to girlify everything. We don't care about your girly shit. We don't care. If you can't write for men and you can't write for boys, then hire somebody who can. And on top of that, admit you were wrong and you destroyed a company.
They destroyed multiple companies, right? I mean, I don't need to read on with this, but basically they're looking for the secret to get boys back into theaters and men back into theaters. I don't know. Just make actual boy movies. Like
take the women out of the writing.
Where's
them out?
Where's the comedy writing? Where's the kick in the nuts shot? Right? Where's the stupid humor? Everyone thinks that guys are so super complicated. What are you guys doing in that room over there? Like started saying in the clubhouse, what are you guys doing over in the room? They think we're like doing something like we're just sitting down, we're playing video games.
We're lighting farts and drinking beer.
Yeah, that's it.
That's what we were doing in the clubhouse before you showed up.
There's nothing special. We just want to get away and have our things. Right? It's very simple. We're very simplistic, right?
Constantly.
All we want, this is why I pissed off about Transformers. Robots, dinosaurs, spaceships, rocket ships, planes, cars, trucks, all in one brand. Hasbro's looking around going, I don't understand why people are not buying Transformers. Disney's walking around going, I don't understand why they don't like Star Wars. I don't understand why they don't want to watch Marvel anymore.
Who would have thought that women wouldn't understand what guys like? Strange, right? Weird how the girls don't understand what we like.
But here's
so
the
strange.
Here's the thing. We actually don't care. We're like, all right, you fucked it up. We'll just walk away, right? Like you said, we'll do something else.
You wanted us to walk away. You walked away.
We don't ever try to change their shit, right? We don't want to make like women of the traveling pants into men of the traveling cargo shorts, right? We're just like, fuck it, you can have that. We'll see you on the next one. We just keep going. And they're like, I don't understand. Why are they not coming? It's like, it makes no fucking sense to me. And there's still theater chains want to know why guys are not going to the theater.
They refuse.
Studios want to know why guys are not watching the movies.
It's not going to be fixed. Here's how this works. Disney would rather burn to the ground than somebody come up and say, we're really sorry that we pissed in your clubhouse. No one will ever admit to that. They'll never admit the damage that they did to the brand. Instead, they talk about it in this abstract way, like, we don't know how to handle it. We don't know how to get in touch with Gen Z. We don't understand what they want. They're so hidden and they hide all their feelings and we don't know what they want. Seriously. Right. Completely clueless on what they want. I got it. Disney will burn to the ground.
Yeah, so I don't look. It's not rocket science on what they can do to. Well, Star Wars is. I don't know. Do you think even if they started making Star Wars movies again, what would they have to do to get people to come back to see Star Wars? I think that brand is completely shit. Like it's done. They can't revive it.
Destroyed it.
You've
done it long enough though. You don't want us to care about it. We don't care about it anymore.
Yeah, it's the ex-girlfriend. We don't check the number anymore. We don't look at the thing. It's just done. Right.
I don't understand what they're looking for. Right. If the upper management never gets fired, nobody takes responsibility. You don't hire people that actually understand little boys and men about what they like. A matter of fact, I think there's about 50 years of films that tell you exactly what the fuck we like, and you still play the role of, I just don't understand. I don't know what they like. They're so complex. We don't know what to make. We don't know how to reach them.
Right.
They're unreachable. We don't know what's going on.
It reminds me of the. It reminds me of the woman that was running Bud Light when they did the Dylan Mulvaney stuff, right? Where he was the spokesperson for beer drinking instead of right. And now they went with Shane Gillis.
Shane
Gillis.
No, that's old news, bro.
I know. Now they're going with Sydney Sweeney. Yeah,
Sydney Sweeney's. They're offering her a shit ton of money to come save Bud Light.
$10 million to come save Bud Light.
Come save Bud Light.
Because American Eagles stock went through the fucking roof because of it.
That's correct.
Yeah.
I
just think it's funny, right? It's someone that thinks,
huh?
right? They were trying to reach a demographic that didn't drink their beer, and they alienated everyone that was drinking their beer. And now Bud Light's asking for forgiveness, right? They're asking for forgiveness. They're like,
no, but that's just it. They're not asking for forgiveness. They're going to pay somebody to tell everyone that. You understand what's going to happen the first commercial that she's in with a Bud Light in it, right? A special group of people is going to have a meltdown.
Oh,
Let's put it that.
They already had a meltdown. They've already had a meltdown.
A special group of people is going to have a full-blown meltdown as soon as she shows up in a commercial for Bud Light.
Did you see what they're talking about in the chat right now? The Cracker Barrel. Have you seen the Cracker Barrel change?
Yeah, I saw the stock crashed. Yeah,
Yeah.
right. If it goes down to about 45 or so, I'll buy back in.
They haven't. They've changed the logo over the last 40 years, but they just changed it a little bit. They still had the white man sitting down in a rocking chair in front and said Cracker Barrel on the side. But now they got rid of all of that, and they just put
sterile.
It's just a sterile Cracker Barrel.
It's a hospital room with crap on the wall, right? It's a hospital room with crap on the wall, and they want you to feel all warm and fuzzy inside, like my grandmother's house. Grandma didn't cook sauce in a white room kitchen.
Yeah, it wasn't
crap on the wall.
Yeah, it's just funny to me. No, they changed the logo. They changed they changed the whole thing, Dupless. I understand that, but when you posted in the thing, I was like, they've changed the logo before, right? Over the last 45 years in my life, right? It used to just be the name Cracker Barrel above and on top, right? And then they put it to the logo that we all know. In my whole life, it's been the same logo, but they've adjusted it
with the old guy in the rocking chair.
Yeah, they've adjusted the font and stuff a little bit, but now they just got rid of all of that. There was like, yeah, that's, and then the interior now looks like modern.
It's a hospital. Yeah. And you know what? You know where a lot of old people like to go? A lot of old people like to go eat in a hospital because they love hospitals.
Here's your pudding.
You know that, right?
Yeah.
Right? You realize, though, that old people hate hospitals, right? So you're going to make the one place where they can feel warm and fuzzy and they can have some pancakes and some fried chicken, and you're going to make it look like a fucking hospital. You think they're going to want to hang out there, right?
They're so out of touch.
The brain dead people who work in these companies who lose them hundreds of millions of dollars.
It was a woman, by the way.
I'm aware what it is, bro. I don't even need to say it. I'm pretty sure everyone in the chat already knows the answer to this problem. However, like I said, everything else that changes, I'll give her 4 quarters. She gets 4 quarters, right? Right?
Actual 4 quarters or physical 4 quarters?
No, she gets a year. She gets
1 year,
she
and
wants
then she's out.
She wants to try this brand. She's going to go, well, it's going to dip down, and then people are going to realize how awesome it is, and they're going to start coming back up. Like, that's cool. We're giving you 4 quarters, right?
I give her until the end of the year.
No,
she's the Pete Parsons. She's done.
You gotta let stuff breathe, bro. You gotta let the idea take hold first to see what happens.
Oh no!
You see how badly Bud Light went, right? Bud Light is doing so badly that Bud Light lost real estate inside the supermarkets. You know this, right?
Yeah.
There's a thing going on with how much money, how much beer you sell, how much real estate you get inside of a supermarket.
Yeah, because delivery guys didn't even they were losing money because they didn't even get paid. Yeah.
That's correct.
It shifted the entire industry.
That's correct. So I'll give her 4 quarters. After 4 quarters, if the stock doesn't come back to where it was and people start realizing that they want to eat fried chicken inside of a hospital, like we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes.
All right, the next story I want to talk about is Battlefield, right? A lot of some Battlefield stuff. We have Battlefield. This made me, the article says Insider Gaming, this made me pre-order Battlefield 6. Fans react to Black Ops 7 gameplay trailer. Now, I have to say,
I got some things to say about this one, though.
I'm completely out of the loop, right? Because I did not watch the trailer. So I'm gonna watch the trailer right now.
Yeah,
for the first time. You're not gonna hear anything, so we can talk over it. We can talk over it.
Let's watch the trailer together.
Well, there's gonna be no sound.
Yep,
so
I've watched it many times. Go ahead.
I just want to see what's happening here. Why people are so. Should I listen to the sound? Okay.
I mean, Call of Duty. It's like Call of Duty Inception is kind of like what's going on.
Okay. 2035. Yeah. Oh God, it's 2042, but it's 2035.
The girl from Star Trek is upset with you, and there's a lot of robots.
What's his name from Save the Cheerleader, Save the World?
Yeah. We got to do this. Who's with me? We got to stop the evil corporation. Yeah. A 4-man team. Yeah, we have to stop. We have to stop the evil corporation. I got it. I get that much. Yeah. Yep.
Oh, they're tripping balls now. They're tripping balls. I got you.
It's a psyop. It's a psyop with a psyop in it.
Okay. Right? Nicaragua. Okay.
Yeah, we remember Nicaragua.
Oh, giant.
Back in 2027.
What the fuck is happening here?
Well, you got a double jump, bro. You got a double jump now.
What is happening here?
Well,
is this Inception?
I'm calling it. I'm calling it the cricket jump. Is what I'm calling it because it's a double jump.
Is this Inception?
Yeah, you don't get the wall run anymore, but you do get.
I honestly didn't watch this
double jump.
I haven't played a Call of Duty in 14 years, and I'll tell you what.
Power slide.
This is not getting me back. This is not bringing me back to Call of Duty.
Well, this is a movie, bro. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, we have to stop the evil corporation who's going to brainwash us. Yeah. Yep. I mean,
are they fighting Galactus? What's happening here?
In their mind, they're fighting Galactus.
Yeah, they're fighting.
Mind.
They're all tripping balls. They're actually in a sterile Cracker Barrel. They're actually eating dinner at a Cracker Barrel right now, but they're tripping balls and they think they're inside this world.
So I'm going to give you my take, right? And this is how you know this is how you know the industry, even though are competitive, they work with each other. It is my belief. It's my belief that they are sacrificing Call of Duty this year because they need a certain number of people to buy into the Battlefield game in order for them to make a Battlefield game into the platform that they're planning on making it. If they don't get the number of people involved into the game like they want to, it will not be able to back up with their investors and the publisher to push forward by doing this. They want to make it an annual thing, but it's going to take a couple of years to get to that. But they need to have
You're talking about Battlefield 6.
Yeah, they need to have sustained engagement at levels that are far beyond what a normal engagement is for a Battlefield. So if you sacrifice, because it happened before, if you sacrifice COD and everybody goes and buys Battlefield 6 because
But why would they sacrifice two different companies completely?
You're not listening to me. The population can't be across both. They need the numbers in order to propel Battlefield.
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. They have to sacrifice this year to bring up so there's competition. So now it looks like there's they're sacrificing this year for 3 years in the future.
Right. The deal is if you're able to get Battlefield to hit a certain number, then you're able to get the backing you need to make it an annual franchise because they're betting heavy on this, right?
Right.
But really, from the standpoint of the gamer, if you've been paying attention, all this is Call of Duty's lost the plot. Battlefield now is Call of Duty prior to when Call of Duty lost the plot. And so now you'll move the COD players over to Battlefield to play the original COD that they used to play before Nicki Minaj and American Dad and the rest of those people showed up.
Here's the thing, right? So there's 31 million views of that trailer. 31 million views. Yeah. Only 45,000 likes.
That's what I'm telling you.
Yeah. Okay.
This is what I'm telling you. It's a sacrifice. They are sacrificing it.
Well, here's the thing. The people where do I even start? The reason that Call of Duty is in the state that Call of Duty is in is the same reason the people that are talking shit about Call of Duty right now. Okay? Call of Duty is in the state that it's in because they made it that way. Not the developers made it that way. The players made Call of Duty what it is today. The reason you have a battle royale, the reason you have these skins, the reason the gameplay the way it is, the reason that everything is that Call of Duty is, okay, is because of you, the Call of Duty player. The Call of Duty player that asked for this, that paid for the microtransactions, that paid for the Warzone transactions, that paid for the monkey gloves, that paid for Godzilla, that paid for Beavis and Butthead, with Nicki Minaj and Jay and Silent Bob. You made the game to what it is today. A piece of shit that people are running from now. And this is why I think it's all kind of bullshit, because everyone's like, I'm tired. Because no one said anything besides the people that shit talked Call of Duty were people that stopped playing Call of Duty. We stopped playing years ago, 14 years here. It's like an AA meeting. Hi, I'm 30 and 14 years sober of Call of Duty. Okay. There's people in my channel that are like, they don't play Call of Duty. There's other people that do play Call of Duty, but they're like, I play it because it's fun or whatever, but they don't partake in the thing, right? Most people play Call of Duty, and the people that are shit talking Call of Duty right now are still going to go out and buy Call of Duty. They're still going to they'll be like, I'm not getting that shit. I'm getting Battlefield 6. And they get Call of Duty. Okay? Like, that's what it's going to be. And the funny part is, the people that are making fun of Call of Duty want to go over to Battlefield because they're like, I don't want to play that shit anymore. And then they want this game to be exactly what that game is. The fuck are we talking about?
Yeah, but this is what I'm telling you. This is why that this Call of Duty will be the sacrificial lamb needed for Battlefield to get the numbers that they need
but
in
even if
order
Call of
for
Duty
them.
Only sells 15 million copies, is still a fucking success.
Yes, but you don't know the deal that they have in the back. They're planning on making this annual, but they have to see the numbers to pay for the money to want to make it an annual.
Yeah, but you're confusing the two, right? Because Call of Duty is annual. Call of Duty is annual.
I'm not talking about Call of Duty. I'm talking about Battlefield.
Well, you said Call of Duty.
You're not listening. They are sacrificing Call of Duty in order for the player base to shift over, in order for Battlefield to gain enough numbers to back up the deal that they have. You need to have a certain group of people, population number, to make it what they want, an annual release. They're not going to invest the money to make it an annual release with multiple studios recycling through 3 years to try to pump out a Battlefield game.
I don't think that's it, because that means you're in your way you're talking. You're saying EA paid Microsoft to sacrifice Call of Duty.
No, I did not say EA paid.
But then who is this behind the back end thing?
The deal with the publishers and the deal with other investors.
The publishers, EA.
Of EA, yes. The deal behind EA. How do you get more money into a game? How do I get more money into the IP if it's not selling well? Well,
you make a game.
We change the entire brand. We market it a different way. We get a whole new group of people to come play our game. And once we see the numbers that you can prove that you can pull in, then we will now put more money into Battlefield in order to make it the once a year, 3 studios cycling every 3 years.
This is going to backfire.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, this is going to backfire because where is it? You
don't just get that's why they say within 5 to 6 years.
Yeah, Battlefield is aiming to become an annual release within 5 to 6 years. Well, let's look at that logically. Okay, 5 to 6 years means that they want them annually. They got to start making that now. Right, so Studio One is take 3 to 5 years to make a game. Okay,
well, they used 4 studios already.
Right, 4 studios. So they all made Battlefield 6. So 4 studios, and then now as soon as this one's done,
they'll go back to working on what they're supposed to be making.
One stays on this one to maintain it, and one of them goes on and starts to make the game that's coming out 5 years from now. Right, then the other one's coming out for 6 years from now, 7 years from now, and then rinse and repeat. Right, that's what it is.
But you need money for those studios.
Correct. That's why they're making the battle. That's why they're making the battle royale.
For those studios is you need enough people to buy into Battlefield.
This is why they want the battle royale for the microtransactions.
Yes,
I'm with you with the thing, but when you're saying they're sacrificing, who's sacrificing? The industry? The industry sacrificing Call of Duty so they can bring Battlefield? They didn't have to do that. They could have just made Call of Duty better.
They don't have to. They have their number.
Why would you sacrifice?
They have their 15 million plus people that are going to buy Call of Duty no matter what. But Battlefield needs a bump in order for them to get into the same circle that Call of Duty's in.
Battlefield, in my opinion, should never be where Call of Duty is.
I'm not saying it should either.
Right? Yeah,
but that's what they want.
They should never, ever be in the player base that Call of Duty is in, because that is not the clientele that they had for the last 23 years.
At some point, they're going to have to change the name because people are going to realize that it's not Battlefield anymore.
Correct.
They're going to have to. They'll probably rename it.
It's Battlefield. Well, now Battlefield's a platform, right? Battlefield's a platform.
Not yet. It will be a platform.
No. They said they want. They said it is a platform.
To be a platform.
No, they said it is a platform.
He says he wants it to be. Not that it is. He wants it to be a platform, is what he said. It hasn't been. You haven't made anything yet. The game isn't out yet. It's only a platform if you're able to maintain population and sell people into the BR and get people to stay inside that ecosystem.
Well, right. Well, that's why. Well, true. Right. Because they're putting all these different game modes in to make it a hub to get people right with the portal with the battle royale.
But you need a good enough number to start with. If you want your 80-20 rule, you got to get enough people in there.
Well, they've lost. They haven't lost the full identity of Battlefield yet because we have to see what happens. But the game's going to come out if they don't make the changes, right? So this article says...
You have to remember, Battlefield's still making a game and selling a game.
Yeah.
COD's been collecting money for skins and this other bullshit for years now, right?
Well,
you have to remember that. Battlefield hasn't been collecting money like that. Battlefield only collects, or EA only collects money from making the game and selling the game Battlefield.
So after 20 hours with Battlefield 6 beta, he says, I believe EA has a ticking time bomb on its hands, though it's not too late to defuse it. Okay. He says, for all the Battlefield 6 has done right, at least during the open beta, there's always been something to claw the defeat from the jaws of victory. Hype had reached astronomical levels following the glowing previews, including our own. Backed up extremely positive beta weekend, okay, broke records for the series on Steam. Still the cracks that perceived and otherwise began to show during the second beta weekend, and thus the current climate of worrying signs of what it feels like EA's last-ditch effort to herald the series a triumphant return. With multiple issues compounding surrounded with the visceral, and feels like EA has a ticking time bomb on its hands, and it's coming from someone who played over 20 hours in the beta and feels completely lost now that it's over. Battlefield 6 is going to be a blast, but it also has 3 big hurdles it needs to overcome. All right, so closed to open weapons. Okay, indecisiveness of attempting to accommodate these polar opposite ideas undermines the class and weapons balance, and will sour the core gameplay. This right here, they can't shit or get off the pot, and this is one problem why I won't get it.
Can't sell skins if it's closed weapons. We already
correct, but you can't make a Battlefield if it's open weapons.
And this why, if it works out, they're gonna have to change the goddamn name.
Right. So no matter how well designed the maps are, plus having the closed weapon playlist is buried within the Netflix-style UI was a brief controversy of its own during the beta. It can also just be a tacked-on feature, including out of obligation, since there's no insignificant portion of the player base that values it, okay? Which is bullshit because the core audience is a huge audience that wants closed weapons. Map size and pace. Battlefield Studios' intentional choice to focus on testing small and medium-sized maps in the beta proved that Battlefield can do Call of Duty style CQC. And now when people were calling it Call of Duty, everyone was like, it's not Call of Duty, it's not Call of Duty. That's not what they were saying. They're not saying it's a one-to-one Call of Duty. They're saying they're Call of Duty-fying what Battlefield is to maintain the people that are coming from Call of Duty.
What Call of Duty was originally, yes.
Right, is what it's turning into, correct. Not what Call of Duty is now. Okay, but also it's been focal point that most of the era, despite assurance that the large maps exist and the flow also just as previous hits of the series, it's doing little to put the plug on any of the anger. And I'm honestly very surprised the beta wasn't extended to give us the opportunity to test a large map. To me, this is the mind-boggling why you wouldn't put a large map into Battlefield. Put a small one, put a large one,
don't get a hype,
let people see it and go, oh, this is good.
They want clips on top of clips, and they want the COD community to be showing stuff, action-paction the whole time. If I make a big map, the hype goes down because people are just driving around the map or looking around the map because they're not playing like a milsim. They're just running around doing whatever, and it doesn't look like
it's
flashy.
TikTok.
It doesn't look flashy because you got guys just driving around doing stuff, right? You're talking to your friend like, hey, we're gonna go to A. Like they don't want that. They want all shooting all the time, hype. They got to keep the hype train going for another 2 months, bro.
Yeah,
or
2 months.
A little less than 2 months, right? If they put a big map in there, probably not going to go over well.
Yeah, I think it's too late now.
Not going to go over
too late now. If they do it on their open beta, I think you're going to ruin the hype even more.
That's correct. So they want to keep it the way exactly how it is. And so give yours, like you said before, put a map into 2042 for whatever reason we don't know to keep the hype train going. So a bunch of guys will jump in to play the, map from 5 inside the engine for 2042, and just people just have fun with it. But what does that say about them caring about the actual IP at all? Anyway, you didn't put a map inside 2042 for an entire year. And then you put another map from a different game in
18 months, and then all of a sudden you put one in. The last part here, he says seasonal content. Already it's clear that Battlefield 6 brings more to the table at launch more than recent games in the series, but we don't know how it will support long term. It's here that players' exceptions run most wild, demanding that an armada of new maps, guns, gadgets, and compound the complaints that also launched build will only have 3 large maps, again, none of which we've seen in action either, which they said that they're testing. In another article, they said that they're testing the big maps in the labs test, which tells me, one, they didn't
test it.
This shouldn't have been out in 2 months because this wasn't supposed to come out till next year, and they're still testing large maps in a game that's known for large maps. So and they're like, well, if you want to make a large map, make it yourself in Portal. Like, what?
So you already know that this game wasn't supposed to come out till
of course not.
Year. So that means they would have had another 6 or 7 months minimum to work on the larger maps. So now you do you do CQB, you make smaller maps, turn it into the COD style game, promise the large maps, get the sales you need.
They gotta get one map in there,
right?
just to get it. Yeah,
doesn't matter. They just need you in the ecosystem. They need you in, right? We all know the game wasn't ready, right? Because they told us when it was going to release, right? You don't all of a sudden make up for lost time, right? It's not all of a sudden that we had another year's worth of work to do, and because some other magic happened, that we just gained 6 months worth of time and we can release a game. That's not how it works. So they are going to piecemeal the best they can do with what they have for the release date in October, and I'm sure it's all hands on deck right now because there's 4 studios working on it, right? And once they get the people into the game, then the promises will start coming out about the maps. They've got Firestorm in reserve, right? They're holding it like this. They're just holding it over here on the side.
Oh, the map.
And as soon as the numbers start going down because of whatever's going on, people don't feel like it's a Battlefield game, there'll be an announcement. And all of a sudden, Firestorm will come out. And Firestorm will make everybody feel warm and fuzzy inside.
Yeah, because I don't think Firestorm is Firestorm one of the maps at launch? I think it is, though. No, Firestorm's not?
No. They said Firestorm is coming. Coming. Not a release.
Yeah, and that's another thing, Krebsy. Firestorm is also an old map that they're rehashing.
That's also correct.
Yeah, inside the thing. Yeah.
Because why? Because
they didn't have time to make a fucking map.
It wasn't ready.
Yeah.
You did the small maps first because they're easier, and then you can build your following on the small maps. And then later you can promise the bigger maps because you have more time. Right?
More thing.
This is not EA's first rodeo.
Yeah, well, that's why I say it's the last 15 years has been the same. The new faster-paced Battlefield 6 gameplay with tighter maps and open weapon system runs a very real risk of pissing off the series veterans more than it already has in an attempt to grab a new audience. It's made only worse given how much Battlefield 6 calls back to the class restriction days of Battlefield 3. One of the things that really pisses me off the entire time is that they keep telling us that they're going back to the roots and going back to what Battlefield is, but that's not Battlefield 3 and 4. That's 1942 is the roots of what it was. Like, you don't start roots 10 years later into the series. You know what I'm saying? Like, it makes no sense to me. They're picking it because it was the most popular at the time because it was 17 million and 14 million people like 3 and 4.
But that's also because...
But that's not what Battlefield was.
The lead-in, remember, Bad Company 2 was the lead-in. More people liked Bad Company 2, and so when Battlefield 3 came out, you had a real good group of people waiting for that game to come out. And I think Battlefield 3 was the time where Call of Duty didn't do well that year. It was I can't remember which one happened.
And it still beat it by like 10,000 or 10 million. Sorry.
Yeah, but that's because the COD numbers were always higher than Battlefield numbers. It's just the way it was, right? The argument is that EA still thinks that Battlefield is in direct competition with COD. It is not. It is 2 separate games just done as a military first-person shooter. It's not the same type of game. What Battlefield realized, and EA was like, well, after doing FIFA and after doing Madden and after doing all these other forever games, right? They wanted to turn the first-person shooter into a forever game, right? So the only way you can do that is by getting enough people involved. Get your 80-20 rule going. So think of all the angles they're trying to cover all at once. They want the COD group, right? They want the BR group. They want the Battlefield group to stay, right? They want all these people. They want everybody to come in and hang out there for a while. You don't think for a moment that COD wants to destroy them in that moment of weakness? They're trying to do everything. We should come in and fucking destroy them right now. Instead, COD goes off on the fucking deep end, goes into La La Land as far as COD goes, and everyone's like, I don't understand what's going on. I thought COD was coming in to kick Battlefield's ass, right? And then they're like, nope, we're working it out, so we're going to do a little sacrifice this year to see if Battlefield can come up to where we are so we can both have games going on forever, right? That's what they want. They want both games going on forever.
It's so weird to me because EA already has Apex Legends, which is a battle royale, and now they want another battle royale within...
Nowhere near the numbers they want. Nowhere near the numbers that they want.
I don't even know what type of numbers they have. Let me see what they have.
Nowhere near the numbers that they want. Apex is fun, but it's not bringing in the numbers.
Let me see. Steam charts for Apex Legends. Yeah, 624,000 all-time peak, 200,000 in the last 24 hours. They're still banging it, man. 64,000 players right now. So, I mean, sure,
you have your group. 64,000
Wow.
peak. Yeah, but 64,000 peak means maybe a couple million people are still playing the game. I'm not saying it's dog shit. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is the number that they want, right? They want double digits. They want double-digit millions, right? They want 10 million, right? They say 100 million. They're talking about people who are going to play BR, pop their head into the clubhouse and see what's going on. 100 million, right? They can make up whatever number they want. But in order for Battlefield to do what COD's doing, they got to have a base, bro. They got to have people coming in and wanting to play the game. And so if I make it to where COD people like Battlefield, then I can get that number, right? I can get that number.
Alexander's asking real fast, and then we'll go to Q&A. Why would Microsoft want both to succeed?
Because it's more money for both of them.
Yeah, so what Sarge is saying is that a tide rises all ships, and Microsoft is not worried because, look, they're already giving Call of Duty away on Game Pass. But what he's saying is because they can't keep the train going full speed all the time, because what happens is you get like the Madden effect, right? The Madden, just no competition, so Madden falls off, right? Yes, they're still making money, but they would make more money in the long run if they had a competitor where Battlefield comes up and then they start competing, because then you have this battle, right? You have this war of Sony's better than Microsoft. You have Battlefield's better than Call of Duty. Call of Duty is better than Battlefield. You have this artificial hype going on, which one's better, and then that brings more money for both of them, because then you have this constant battle, and people are like, oh, this game's better than your game, and which used to be back when Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4 were, when they were at the peak, but then they fell off because they went to hardline, because they tried to make Battlefield more like Call of Duty instead of just making it like it was, okay? And they went from 17 million to 4 million, and then they went back to Battlefield 1, and then they started bringing people back, but people didn't like the Battlefield World War I era. Then they put the women in the battle.
Right, because
they've lost their way, and they're trying to make it come back. Because the industry, look, I've said real quick, Sarge, I've always said that Sony, Nintendo, and Xbox are on the same team. They're on the same team. They're the industry. Okay, we think that they're fighting for competition, but they are the mobsters. And I used an analogy today. If you watch the new Willy Wonka movie, right? Where's the 3 chocolate companies, and Willy Wonka comes in to try to sell his chocolate, but the 3 other guys come and intimidate him and take him out there and kick him out, because they're all in the chocolate industry, but they're all working together, and they converged all their stuff into one to make it a better business, right? That's basically what Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo do. They decide what the industry wants to do, when they're going digital, when they're going diskless, they decide all this, not us. They decide, and then we pay for it or don't pay for it.
Right. So you would be playing COD, right? You're playing COD. You're buying skins, and then you don't care about Battlefield, because Battlefield doesn't come out for like another 3 years. So you're just in COD. But if I have Battlefield and COD both doing the same thing, then I'll bounce over to COD for their Battle Pass shit. What's going on for this season? Better than the season over here, and I'm still that 80-20 still spending money, right? Now they're spending money in your game. And then I come back over here because you got something else going on. I'm spending more money here. So what that means is if I got both people playing, then I got more money coming out of both of you. I'm getting more money out of you because we're bouncing back and forth. All right, you need that kind of competition.
We're gonna go to QA. So let me do the thing, and then we'll come back. Put a Q in front of your thing in chat, and then we'll mark it down, and we'll take a couple questions here.
That trailer for Black Ops 7 is just off the rails, bro.
I looked at, look, I have nothing, no feelings towards COD whatsoever. I was like, what the fuck's going on? It reminded me of the Ghostbusters. Remember Ghostbusters when you went into the other portal, the 2011 game or 2009 game where you went to
Well, what it looks like to me with the robots and stuff they were using, it looks like the precursor to Battlefield 2042.
Oh yeah,
like I'm sorry, 2142.
Well, I just think
it was like just you have mechs and robots are fighting each other. I'm like, I don't understand what's happening.
I think it's funny that Battlefield's going back to modern, and then they're going to future. It's like, what the fuck? Tell me they're not all working in the same industry together. You know what I mean? They all know. They all know what they're doing.
There's a lot of eggs inside EA's basket in order to get people to stay inside this game. If they were ever going to do it, this year's probably it, because Call will get they'll act together and they'll do something else. They'll call it boots on the ground or whatever nonsense.
Yeah, back to the boots on the ground.
Right.
They did that in 2000. What was the year that they went back to World War II? They said boots on the ground. Go back to boots.
But you have to remember what it's supposed to be is COD originally was it's a campaign game story. And then when you're done with the campaign, there's just some fun multiplayer shit on maps to fuck around with. That's all it was supposed to be, right? To keep you in the game while they make the new campaign for the next game. That's what it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
Right? They turned it into BR all the time, skins. So the focus is more on the multiplayer, not about the actual storyline for the actual game. Call of Duty was always a campaign first and the game at the end. The same thing with Battlefield, if you don't remember. Right? Battlefield was a story game that you played through.
Well, it wasn't. Then
and
it was.
Then, and
they got rid
then
of it. Yeah.
At the end, while you're waiting for the new game, there's some fun multiplayer shit to play. That's what it was.
Real quick, we're 2 months out, right? Battlefield 6. This is my question to you, Sarge. How fast do you think the hype will die? Where everyone's like, Battlefield 6 is awesome, it's amazing, it's the greatest game ever, and how fast will it go down to normal numbers? Not that it matters, because if they sell the game, they sell the game. I'm just talking about player base.
I believe it solely relies on their engagement numbers. I think that they have bullets loaded into the chamber, waiting, right? So when the game comes out, they're gonna pretty much gauge the number of people who are gonna play the game, right? Because they're gonna play. Maybe I don't know you, but when I buy a game like that, I play through the campaign. Right?
Yeah, I play through the campaign first, then I jump into multiplayer.
Then I jump into the multiplayer, right? Because I want to learn the game mechanics to see how the game works and then play the multiplayer. By the time you play through the campaign, you understand the motion of the guns and everything else and how the guns feel. And so you get a better feel for it when you're actually playing the multiplayer as opposed to just jumping into multiplayer, right? So 3 weeks, 4 weeks of people fucking around with campaign and fucking around with some small maps, right? Then they see whether or not the number's big enough. If the number's big enough, they'll wait. If the number's not big enough, then they'll release something to get you back in. The BR will come out earlier. Like, I don't think the BR is coming out. I think the way that they talk about it is the first month is just acclimation.
I think it comes out during the holidays.
After the first month when Call of Duty comes out, and I'm not sure Call of Duty is going to do well, they release the BR when Call of Duty comes out to get people to just hang out in Battlefield.
I think they release it mid-November. Or in December, early December.
Yeah, VR comes out
because of Christmas break and stuff like that. People are off. They'll play it.
Yeah,
they have extra money to spend.
If numbers maintain throughout the holidays, they'll wait. When it starts to die down, sometime probably around Valentine's Day, Firestorm comes out.
Is it called Firestorm? I don't think it's called Firestorm. It's just BR. We don't know what the name is. Firestorm was the old one.
No, the map. Yeah. The map.
Oh, you're talking about Firestorm.
I'm talking about the map.
Sorry, I got you.
Yeah. Because you gotta let it flow. You gotta see what the numbers are for what's going on. Because remember, all the holiday games are coming out. What's going to be people's engagement when you're during the holidays? What games are you going to be bouncing around in? If I'm going to be bouncing around inside of other games, I'm not going to be bouncing around completely inside of Battlefield. But you got to give me a reason to stay. So you'll wait, see how the numbers go. If the numbers are too low, they'll release something else.
All right, let's hit the first question real fast. Dark Taco, thank you very much for becoming a member. Appreciate you very much. Then we have Altern says, after COD reveal of Battlefield 6 beta, reveal and Battlefield 6 beta, which one do you think will have more possibilities for success? I think COD will still succeed more than Battlefield 6, but it will be a slow year for Call of Duty, but Call of Duty will still beat Battlefield 6 in the end.
Yeah, I would need to see what the numbers of sales are for a Call of Duty that doesn't go over well.
15 million is a bad Call of Duty.
Like a bad Call of Duty is 15 million. We're a good one,
which is almost the best Battlefield.
But this is what I'm saying, right? So that's going to say everything. Depending on how much they sell, how much Battlefield sells, you'll get an idea, because you're going to get that number, that swap over. They're coming over. We're going to see. I need to see sales numbers, right? Not engagement numbers, right? Which we won't. Which we won't, because they're going to be controlling the whole number the whole time. But if I have to use the algorithm and figure out between peak numbers on Steam and who's playing what, I'll get a good guess. I'll figure out the guess.
Can I read? Krebsy says, "Can I read the comments in Black Ops 6 trailer, the original one?"
Sure.
Okay. So it says, "Take a deeper dive with Black Ops 7 Direct here." Okay. The actually made me pre-order Battlefield 6. Black Ops is starting to feel like Fast and Furious of video games. You know what? I think Medal of Honor should come back. Battlefield looks great this year. From COD player, thank you very much for making it easy to choose Battlefield 6. Best advertisement for Battlefield 6. People say COD is getting too much hate. I personally think they're going to get enough. Or they aren't getting enough. Sorry. I really used to like COD. Last one I bought was Modern Warfare 2019. Watching this trailer has never validated me more and why I stopped playing the franchise. So glad Battlefield came correct this year. EA probably going to throw a giant party tonight. I showed the trailer to my grandma, and she pre-ordered Battlefield 6 too. How do you completely ruin a franchise in 5 years? Ask Disney. Disney did it in record time.
Yeah.
Watched about 5 seconds and went to click skip ad button only to realize this is the video. That's a good one. That's a good one. Thanks for saving me $70. This trailer is perfect, summarized everything I hate about COD and not a single thing I like. If I wanted to fight robots, I'd just rejoin Helldivers. I said the quote, too big to fail. Well, they said COD is about to get a wake-up call. Nice to see COD delivers still aren't listening to their own fan base and just make random garbage. Well, I could say that if it's the same thing about Battlefield. I'm glad to see that Battlefield's not listening to their fan base and making complete garbage. You see how this works? Where people are upset about Call of Duty not being Call of Duty, and the people that are Battlefield fans are mad that Battlefield is not Battlefield, but yet the people that are playing Battlefield now are like, oh, shut up, you don't understand, this is an awesome game. It's like, no, this is not the game that we've been playing. Like they're making it different. It's frustrating.
But you would much rather have the Battlefield veterans mad at you than the COD people, because you get the COD people to come over. They spend there are more of them.
Right.
If you destroyed COD enough to make the COD base want to buy a Battlefield game, that says a lot.
Yeah, we love you. Once you buy the game, though, we don't give a shit. That's basically what it is, right?
I mean, we don't
care that you're a fan of the past games or all the other franchises. The reason that we're still around, the reason DICE still exists today, of all the other Battlefields that we've paid for, so you still have a studio, so you still have a job. Those people that paid for your salaries for all of these years, you don't care about those people. You care about the new people that didn't pay for your salaries and kept your studio open for 23 years
because they spend money on skins. Yeah, that's well, and the numbers don't lie. The best-selling Battlefield game. Was it Battlefield 3 or I'm thinking it was 3. It was 3. You said it was 17.
3, 17
million. They're near 17 million copies, right? That's a lot for a Battlefield.
Yeah, it's the most.
Now, so you have to think like they do. You have to think that they want to probably beat that number.
Yeah, great, but those people are the Battlefield fans.
Yep, but you are making Battlefield currently is COD with some tanks involved. That's what it is.
Yeah.
And if you make a better game, if you make your game like COD and everyone wants to play COD and they don't like Black Ops 7, they'll come play. That's all you want. You don't care that they don't revive or they don't know team play. All you care about is getting that number to the point where the BR works and the rest of those, right? I don't foresee all those game modes staying in forever. I think all those game modes are there to give you options.
Yeah, because they're all going to go play. They're all going to go play in Portal.
Yeah, right. And the worst excuse I heard so far is if you don't see a map that you like, you could just make up your own.
Yeah, make up your own.
Which is basically telling people they don't give a fuck about.
Look, we don't care about the maps. If you don't like our maps, go make your own.
Yeah, we'll let the modders and people who like to build maps build a map. Right. So rest assured, if at the end of the first season, like the first 3 months go by, like sometime like in February, if there's not decent maps out there, guaranteed you will have players make up maps that fit the build that they want to play on.
Which will be the Battlefield fans.
Yeah.
Altered says, how long do you think the new CEO of Bungie will last before getting replaced by Sony? I'm going to say 2 years.
I don't know what the timetable is for the Destiny BS right now.
I'm going to say 2 years. I'm going to say they're going to do what's his name? Chapek that was at Disney. Like, one guy left, put Chapek in charge, let him burn the candle, and then all of a sudden then fired his ass. I think that's what Sony's going to do. Sony's in transition. They got rid of Pete Parson. They're bringing Jason in. Jason's still old school. Like, he's the other guy that's still part of Bungie. Sony doesn't want old Bungie. They want new guys. So they'll probably use him for 2 years, maybe less, and then they'll move on from there. That's what I think.
Yeah, I foresee Destiny, a whole Bungie studio just folding in and becoming part of just Sony in general.
Sounds good for them, huh? Krebsy says, is this a good representation of the current state of COD when they all but admitted that they don't know their own past, saying Black Ops 7 is the first COD with co-op, and when they have Black Ops 3 WAW with it.
And that's how you know. Yeah. That's how you know who's in the studio. That's how you know the old guard is not there.
Yeah, they don't care.
They don't give a shit.
Yeah.
They know the last couple games. So to them, it's like, well, you guys didn't have any multiplayer. Like the rest of us who are old have been playing all these games, like know exactly what they lied. Because how far back did you go before you made the statement?
Here, I'll make a sports analogy here. When you have a team, okay, of brand new guys coming out of the minor leagues, they know how to play baseball, but they don't know how to play Major League Baseball, or they know how to play football, but they don't know how to play professional football. You know what I'm saying? So you have to have old guys on the team to show the young guys how it is. All right. In game development, it's the same exact thing. You have guys that have been with the studio for years and years and years and years and years, and then they start leaving. But then a bunch of them left, and now there's just new people teaching new people. So you have people that are not experienced teaching other people with no experience, and then you get games that you're seeing today. Okay, this is why we showed that video on my earlier stream this week, where games in the early 2000s did way more than the games that are doing now in the last 5 to 7 years, because they just don't know how to do those things, or they don't want to do those things. So there's not this replacement of old teaching new and then new becomes old. It's just old left, new people become old people, but they have never been taught or seen anything, and they just think that everything they're doing is fantastic, but the bar is set lower. And this is why they say that devs are lazy. This is why they say devs don't understand what they're doing. Battlefield, nobody worked on Battlefield 1, right? Battlefield 5 and Battlefield 2042, 90% of the people are gone. All right, so they're all new people working on this Battlefield, 4 studios working on a first Battlefield game of their time.
And that's what makes me concerned. Are you telling me that there's 4 studios worth of people that no one's ever made a Battlefield game? 4 studios worth of people? That's a lot of people.
There might be one guy. He's the director and saying, "Hey, I worked on it." They're like, "Oh, great, tell us your wisdom."
All I'm saying is when you have that large a group of people in the company who are now gone, like you said, the veterancy is lost and you're starting over from scratch, right? So you're trying to put together a game that from 10 or 15 years ago, and those people don't know the tricks to do the things that they did in those games because they weren't taught.
They're copying the homework, but they don't know how to do it.
Yeah, but it's not just the screwdriver heads, like the guys who know all the intricacies. Like it's everything. Do they work well together? Does the management and upper management for the teams, do they get along? Do they jive together? Like the whole thing's got to work. It's not just we're making a game. Like everything's got to work. Laura, what's her name? What's her last name? Laura what? Fryer. Like Miss Fryer, she knows the deal. She goes, there are so many variables in game development. It's not just we're making a game, right? Everything's got to work well. How do you have things that we saw in 2010, 2012, and we've never seen it again? Like the way the game is made, the way the graphics are, just the details inside the game. Like everybody's been cutting out stuff. They've all been cutting out stuff because we're just trying to do
budgets are higher.
Right. And the budgets are higher because the one guy used to do 3 jobs. Now you need 3 people to do that same guy's job because he knew all 3 things. Right? How else are you flushing money down the toilet? We know how this works. Yeah. If the game costs 3 times more to make, that means you're using more people than you have to than before because they all don't know the jobs. So you have to hire more people.
Yeah. All right. Next question. Krebsy says, do you think humanity is ready for robots to start birthing human babies? You know, the humanity who has some people dating AI and eating Tide Pods. Did you see the story, Sarge?
They already have artificial wombs. I'm not is that you knew that already, Krebsy.
No, he's saying that because there's an article that they have.
Yeah, they already have artificial wombs. The question is that they're questioning the morality behind it. Because they're trying to hide behind the aspect of, I don't want to go down this road, but people who can't have babies,
correct,
because of some kind of deficiency, and
right.
so
instead of putting it in another person,
right, instead of using like a surrogate, you just put it inside the machine.
Because there's a lot of stories of people that are surrogates that have the baby. And then there's issues after the fact because something happened to the baby.
Sure.
2, they want to keep the baby because now it's their baby. Right. So there's a lot of, I can see where it can go, but I also see like we're looking at it going robots having babies, but I look at it
I'm not looking at it that way.
Yeah, I don't look at it that way as having a son and having complications with the whole process of trying to have a kid. I can see the benefits of, instead of me having my semen in someone else, it's just my semen inside this thing, and this thing's growing my baby, and it's my baby. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
There's not that connection with that other person that's just the surrogate, but then there's weird people out there that get attached.
And not to mention, it's basically the more money you have, the more selective you can be. So I can make a super child.
Yeah.
Smart, tall, whatever. I'm picking the genes myself.
It's like in a cauldron, a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
I'm picking the genes myself. I spend the money, I pick the genes, and then I have the kid that I want to have. That's that's fucking crazy.
I can see it going in a bad way too, but
yeah.
Now it says, now that consoles are $600 plus in some countries, what's stopping me from buying a PC and not pay a sub to play online? We forgot to bring it up, or we didn't have time, but PlayStation raised the price by $50. Those PlayStation fanboys that defended it saying, our PlayStation's not going to raise their prices. We told you so. All the companies are doing it because they're all in bed together. They all raise the prices. They just takes time, okay, for each one to do it, okay? But it's funny to me because, again, people think it's because of the tariffs, okay? I went to Costco on Monday. Pallet of PlayStations there. The price that you had to pay for. I walk out the door. I come back Tuesday. Same pallet of PlayStations are there, and now it's $50 more. Why? Because tariffs. That's not how that works, right? That pallet has already been in the country. They didn't ship it out, put it out to sea, have it checked back in.
The price
right?
is the price now.
They just change it because the person that comes in that wasn't there on Monday walks in and goes, oh, these must be a brand new pallet of PlayStations come in and they're $50 more, right? That's not how it works. But all the industry, they've all done it. They've all raised their prices now. Nintendo, Xbox, Sony, right? Why would you buy a console at $900? Canada's over $1,000 now. So do you buy a PC or do you buy a console? I mean, I know what I would buy. If I didn't have anything, I would buy a PC. I would actually probably buy the Steam Deck or ROG Ally because I could get all the stuff on one device and I could plug that into my television set. So, and I'm talking about people that don't care about the 30, 60 frames. They don't care about you know what I mean? They just want to play games. So that's what I would do. Krebsy says, what do you think about Call of Duty spinoff? The Sledgehammer is rumored to be making, could be. Yeah. My brain was like, the Sledgehammer's in Battlefield.
The Sledgehammer's the studio.
Yeah, the Sledgehammer's the studio. My brain was all. I think it's smart, which I've said on Battlefield. If they wanted to do something, they could have done a spin-off for Battlefield. So I think it's smart. If they're doing a spin-off for Call of Duty, and I'll be honest, is Sledgehammer next up in the cycle of Call of Duty? Because Sarge was saying they need Call of Duty to fail because for the industry. But now that you bring this up, if Sledgehammer's after Treyarch, okay, and then the next one up, it would make a lot of sense for Call of Duty to kind of take a year off. Because if they're doing a spin-off of Call of Duty, people would see that as more fresh, and they would be like, oh, this is what, you see what I'm saying? So maybe if Sledgehammer's the next up and next year is a Sledgehammer game, it's a spin-off of Call of Duty and it's something completely different, which this probably should have been a spin-off of Call of Duty, like what you saw there. That'd be interesting. So I do think it's smart that they're doing a spin-off of Call of Duty and not making Call of Duty into something it's not supposed to be, even though we just watched that travesty that was happening on screen. What do you think, Sarge?
I mean, I always wonder that trying to do this annual stuff just gives it fatigue, and it's harder to come up with something new and fresh that you want to stay and play because it's going to be here every year, and so you don't even care anymore. Like, I think that the people who play COD, who think that the game, the Black Ops 7 is going to be bad, it's no skin off their nose. They're like, see you next year, right?
Yeah.
This year's no good. Oh, but look, I have another game I can play that's exactly like the game I want to play. So we'll just wait till next year to see what your COD game is, right? There's no skin off their nose because Battlefield, remember, I might not see a Battlefield game for 3 or 4 years.
Well, Battlefront. Yeah, Battlefront.
No, the Battlefield. I mean, I'd see a Battlefield game for 3 or 4 years.
Oh, right.
It's not an annual thing.
Yeah, well, they were supposed to back in 2016. We did a story where they're like, "Oh, we're all in on Battlefront, Battlefield, Battlefront, Battlefield." It was supposed to be every other year,
and that went out the window.
And then Jedi Fallen or Jedi Return, Ryan Johnson's Jedi, whatever the fuck that one was,
blew up,
completely botched it for everything. And they're like, "Nope, we're not doing Star Wars anymore." Next thing is Altern says we got Vampire Survivor Halo, we got Helldivers Halo. When are we getting Halo kart racing? Well, technically, we already had it about 5 years ago. Because Forza Horizon, you can actually drive the Warthog inside of Forza, and you could race Warthogs inside the thing. So technically, we already got the kart racing for Halo Kart Racer.
That's true.
And the last question, should Gotham Knights and Suicide Squad be embarrassed that they're getting outclassed by the Lego Batman game? Yes, 100%. We didn't get time to talk about the Lego Batman game. I'm going to have to change the...
Of course they're excited thumbnail. By it because what else was there?
Well, no. But what I'm saying is, he's saying, have you seen gameplay of the game?
Yeah, I watched it. When you guys were,
well, they do a 30-minute. They have a 30-minute video of gameplay. Okay, and it looks 10 times better than Gotham Knights. I mean, obviously it's Legos, but what you could do in the game is better than Gotham Knights, which is better also than Suicide Squad, and it's a Lego game. And this goes back to what I've always said: just make a game, sell a game. And, it doesn't matter if it's Lego. It doesn't matter if it's Minecraft. It doesn't matter if you make a good game. And I don't know if this game is good or not, but what I've seen so far, it looks pretty damn good. All right. And it's the Batman game people wanted, just not the graphics that people wanted. But people are going to be excited about it because, one, Lego games...
There's nothing else.
Lego games are really good. They are. There's only been a few shitty Lego games. But for the most part, they've all been pretty good.
I mean, I played the complete saga Star Wars one. I played the complete saga of the Indiana Jones one. I didn't. You played the Harry Potter one. I never got to play the Harry Potter one. Right. I mean,
I played the Marvel. The Marvel ones are really good as well.
Right. They're good games.
I've never played the villain one. I think that's it. I think we got all the questions answered there.
It's gonna be a rough 3 months, man.
Do you think it's going to explore a new genre, or maybe make a COD Helldivers game? I think they choose to, sort of like Apex Legends takes place in the Titanfall universe. I think COD makes something like that. Not saying a battle royale, but what I'm saying is they just make a different first-person shooter game, maybe more arena style, but in the Call of Duty universe.
Well, I definitely know for a fact that there's probably at least 2 or 3 studios right now trying to make a clone of some type of Helldivers. That's for certain. Because whatever works, they chase, right? The fear is too great. The risk is too high. They can't risk it, right? Anybody who trades stocks, any one of these companies who's publicly traded, they're not taking any risks. You can forget about anybody trying to make anything new and fresh. If it's a public company, forget about it. They're going to be doing copy pasta and safe shit all around. Anybody else who's looking to be noticed are the ones you have to watch out for. So if you find some indie studios that have some more people, got some more funding, got a publisher that actually likes them, doesn't want to screw them over, those are the ones you have to watch out for something fresh. Otherwise, don't count on it because the loans suck. They're not going to be able to get money, and so they have to do safe shit all around.
All right, and that is going to do it for us on Generation X Gaming. Episode 453 is in the can. We do appreciate you very much for coming out, hanging out with us. If you like it, hit that like button. We're trying to get to 50 likes. 50 likes so we can get that song up on Spotify for Pete Parson, the Parachute Pete, Golden Parachute song. We're here Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern. We'll be back next Thursday for another episode of Generation X Gaming, a weekly podcast that goes over a few of the top stories of the past week, and we rant along the way. You can also listen to the past broadcasts on Spotify, Anchor.fm, and anywhere else a podcast is heard from. We appreciate it very much. You guys have a great rest of your evening, day, or night, wherever you are, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.
Game on, guys.
Retro meets the now and here. Gaming tales you need to hear. Laugh and shout and sometimes sneer. Memories from all those years. Console wars and secret tips. Tips and tricks from pixel trips. News that pours from gaming sips. Critical